Hey, hello. Hi. Can you hear my voice when I speak? It's the preferable outcome. I'm hoping you say yes. Poor Grumbletum? I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's wrong with him, Brendan. I feel like I'm feeding him so much, and it just never gets any better. All we can do is to continue giving him likes, comments, subscriptions, Patreon donations. And just hope that things turn around for him. We're going to be joined by Lawrence from The Sorts. This is not going to be a live debate. When I say that we battle Tim Pool, I mean we're battling him in the marketplace of ideas. This music is too loud? How's that? Noms for Grumbletum. Thank you, Eric. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. He's lying down right now. Have I tried hydrating him? He has all the fresh water he can handle. He's got everything he could possibly need. Is the music better now? Good. Wonderful. I feel like it should be known that I do not debate. I do not do debate. Debate is folly. I don't know when Lance is going to. I'm waiting on him, but who knows what he's up to? Who knows what's going on? I mean, we can literally watch him on Twitch to figure it out, but he runs a far more professional stream than I do, so I end up just kind of waiting for him to be ready. But we can talk now. Just me and you and just you know what I'm realizing now? I don't have the chat thingy up. View box. Why not? Normally that just pops right up on OBS. What have I done? Right now I can't see the dang Twitch chat. No. Did I unlist Seditious September? Yeah, they're bad videos. This is my plan, is all of the videos that are bad are no longer listed. This is my secret strategy. I might have to just do this the old-fashioned way. Sorry, I'm just frigging around with stuff. You know how it is. You know how it is. This isn't what I wanted. Ah. Hello.
Hi, Thought Slime.
Hello, Lance.
It's a pleasure to hear from you.
You as well. How have you been?
Oh, I've been good. Since we last spoke, I got a son.
Well, oh, your dog? Or
Yeah,
did you have
yeah,
BB?
that's my son.
I think we've spoken since you've had dog.
Oh, well then, I have nothing to report. That's how painfully dreary my life is. It's the only eventful thing that's happened to me in the past 3 months.
Well, it's pretty good, right? How is your heckin' doggo, Pupper Toby's?
Little Chico is doing good. He's surviving and thriving, unlike everybody. But it's been really good. I'm happy that my finances got exposed yesterday for the world to see, and I have a number associated with my name, so I'm actually like in the Squid Game, so that feels nice.
Are you like fully Hassaned out?
I'm player 3,338, I think.
Whoa.
In the Twitch games. So if I truly want to win at capitalism, I got to crack into the 2,999.
You'll get
some
there.
might say.
You'll get there.
Well, it's all about the Sigma grind set, right?
Yeah. You got to rise and grind for sure.
How about you, friendo?
I'm moving at the end of the month, so my life is in fucking shambles.
Oh no.
In a good way.
Oh yes, but
Yeah.
oh, do you need me to turn on my camera? Is your computer capable of handling?
My computer might
video?
be. I don't know if my
All right,
internet
hold on.
connection, but you can try it. You can try it and see what
All right, hold
happens.
Let's hope for the best and expect the worst. Congrats on the move, but yeah, I know from experience, moving is the absolute worst.
Oh, hey. I can actually see your little face.
I brought a beanie as per tradition, but it's covered in dog hair and pretty gross. So we'll see if the moment strikes. I don't know if I'm extremely excited to put that on my head and see what happens next, kind of situation. Oh no, that ruined this. And this works.
Doxing all of the people that I have spoken to. You can't see any of their messages, though. It's all good.
Besides the move, what's new and exciting?
That's about it, you know? How do
I feel it.
How do I... You're familiar with technology and computers, etc. How do I remove...
I've been told.
How do I remove my little window that shows me showing you?
On the screen?
Yeah.
Are you mirroring the screen to me, or are you mirroring your camera? That's probably the difference. You're probably
what?
mirroring. So you can either show me your camera, what your camera sees, or you can show me what your computer screen sees.
No.
Or maybe you're doing both.
In OBS, you can only... You know what? Fuck this. I'll just... Boop. There we go. Never mind.
Seen double for me's.
There we go. Yeah, that's about it. That's what's going on with me. I learned I have ADHD. That's been a thing.
Congratulations, I have it as well. Welcome to the flock.
Yeah, it's that's been a whole kettle of fish.
How did that start? Going down that journey?
It was literally like I mentioned once on Twitter. It's like, oh, here's a weird thing I do. I always get really interested in something, and then it's all I can think about for like a year, and then or not like a year, but like for a while, and then I just lose it and forget about it, and I don't want to do it anymore. And people were like, "Oh yeah, it sounds like ADHD or autism," and my immediate reaction was, "I don't have autism." Right?
Did you take one of the online exams?
I didn't. I mean, that wasn't what I based my decision on, but I did go through like the diagnostic, and it was like if you have 5 or more of these, then you likely have adult ADHD, and I had all of them. So I was like,
Whoa, every one.
every single one, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time I booked an appointment.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And you found good doctor, good help.
We'll see
Good,
about that.
Okay.
She
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, she made me take a full brain scan. The whole thing with by which I mean like a bunch of different 88 IQ tests and shit, like all of that bullshit. I don't obviously IQ is not real, but she's like, if you do this test, it'll make it easier for you to get medication. So I had to do the whole thing where you like do a bunch of puzzles and they test your brain to see if it's any good. Still waiting on the results.
Okay. I was going to ask, what are you part of the superior race?
I assume, yeah, that's probably they don't have. They're calculating it now, and they don't have a number that goes that high. So that's probably why it's taking so long.
Fair enough. I can see that. That's wild, though. How would you recommend the entire experience being going through the public Canadian healthcare system? Because I also went through that same process, and I had a lot of wait times. Like when I talk about how there's public healthcare in Canada, I usually say, yeah, but it's pretty lacking when it comes to mental health.
I mean, I did do it like during the middle of the pandemic, right? So it's entirely possible that it would be better normally. But it was like, I'm lucky that I had my wife's insurance because that let me just go to like a private physician.
Nice. High end. And is it true that Doug Ford just cut like $100 million or something worth of child safety protocols? Was another thing I just recently read about your area. For schools.
It's very surprising because he's normally more level-headed than that.
But that's pretty extreme. I thought I was like, at a time like now,
it's pretty extreme. It's not as extreme as the time he decided that we just wouldn't have kindergarten teachers anymore.
Oh,
that's for kindergarten
that's a strategy.
The people who looked over the class just wouldn't be teachers, so they didn't have to pay him as much.
That's yeah.
Because if there's one group of people I want less care and put into it, it's definitely young children.
Yeah. That's true, and also teachers probably don't work hard enough.
Yeah, they get 3 months off. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, we should be so lucky. Well, that's neat. Yeah. On a side note, I have been loving the videos you've been putting forth lately.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice on Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I have you here. We should do the same thing as last year and watch a Halloween movie. We're in Hell was asking me about this too. He was like, it was really fun when you both watched public domain horror film, Little Shop of Horrors last year.
Yeah. We need to find a public domain movie that won't immediately result in a copyright strike.
True.
Because we tried to watch something else last year, didn't we? The Tingler.
That's right. Oh, I really wanted to watch The Tingler.
Yeah, me too.
But that was risky. House on Haunted Hill, the Vincent Price one. That one's public domain, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we've had bad luck with Vincent Price in the past.
That's true. He is cursed. Oh, and one last question I ask before I start talking. Tim Pool business is there any incredible horror films that I should be watching that are new, that are worth my time?
So ask me that again in a little bit, because this strategy I've developed for this year, Scaredy Cats, is I'm going to watch new movies that a human being might potentially be interested in, rather than just whatever bullshit I did last year. I've decided that this year I'm going to do something that's good for my analytics rather than deliberately poisoning them and then wondering why I'm not doing so well.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't only me. Because I'm thinking about that about like multiple YouTube channels right now. Like, oh, I guess I need to restructure everything here.
Yeah, but everybody's telling me to watch Malignant, so that's going to be the next Scaredy Cats video.
I have heard. I've heard it's very good.
Halloween Kills is coming out soon.
Also looks entertaining.
I've also heard.
I saw
Lamb.
I saw the Candyman.
Oh, how was that?
It's okay. It's not really scary, which is just a little off-putting. In terms of like, it's really well acted. It's well written. There is a strong social commentary just to piss off the quarterings of the world. But I was never afraid, or like it was a lot of jump scares and then repetitive ones. I mean, this is the bare bones spoiler warning, but there's nothing for the main plot in this. But there's a person who tries to escape being murdered by saying "gotta go fast" multiple times, the Sonic the Hedgehog line, which is also kind of unusual. Yeah.
Are they being chased by like a giant egg?
Yeah, giant egg with a wrecking ball at the bottom. Yeah, so yeah, I mean it's not a bad film, but it's definitely, I think it was more hype and controversy than it was an actual like legitimately terrifying horror film.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably the second best Candyman movie, to be fair.
It is,
but it's one of those movies where people were like, "Oh, I would love to see someone like Jordan Peele do a take on this," and they couldn't. Either Jordan Peele was busy, but he produced it.
He's one of the producers, and it does have a good aspect in that it's the first #1 box office film directed by a black woman American, I think.
Oh, that rules.
I ordered that strange. A woman black American. Well, either way. Which is, that is significant. That is definitely something that is impressive and you need to see more of. But it's not, like I said, I wasn't truly terrified. So that's my only
Yeah, I mean, I've very few horror. I'm gonna move my wife's chair. That's annoying me. Very few horror movies actually frighten me at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just so desensitized.
To horror movies, yes. Horror games still scare the ever-loving shit out of me.
Did you play through Village?
No.
Resident Evil?
I heard it's quite good.
Fun.
I heard it's quite good.
It's really good. It's fun. Yeah. I mean, you may get to that part that no one has been able to beat yet, where you see this giant vampire woman, and then you run straight into her screaming vampire mummy, and then she kills you, and then you just keep doing that. I haven't found the cheat code to get past that part yet.
Why would you want to get past it?
Exactly.
Just play it over and over.
It's the best part of the game. But no, it's fun. It's good. It's like a really nice rehashing of like all these old stereotypes and like classic horror films just wrapped up in one little scary, fun game package.
I will play it eventually. Right now, money is a little tight, so I'm not looking to spend $100 on a video game.
Yeah. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. I suppose I should do the thing. Hi, Mildred of youtube.com/thoughtslime, where everyone can enjoy incredible content. It's very nice to see you.
Oh, that's a very nice thing for you to say, Lines of the Serfs, youtube.com/serfstv, or with the other channel where you're posting more nowadays, the URL of which escapes me.
No, that's fine. That's good enough. I want to send everyone there. Actually, I just finished for the past like month working on a Lauren Southern debunking video, which I'm going to be releasing on Monday, which I'm exceptionally excited for, because and I'm going to put it on that channel, so it's good to direct people there, because she made a video about how the mass graves of Indigenous kids in Canada are hoaxes, and it's a weird 33-minute watch. Yeah. And in it, she actually goes to one of the grave sites with a drone, not in accordance with the rules. There's a giant sign that says "Don't fly drones over this area," to film the site and point out how her ability to decipher what the archaeologists couldn't will be laid bare in the footage. And then this is not a spoiler, but she says afterwards, she's like, well, you know what, we're gonna have to talk to some experts. We just got to get some experts on ground penetrating radar to tell us exactly what's going on here. And then she fast forwards 2 weeks, and instead of experts, it's her and a guy from the Rebel Media. The same guy who whenever he would have to travel and he was put in a 4-star hotel, said it was a gulag, one of Trudeau's like prisoner gulags. Anyways, long story short, they don't visit any experts, but I did. So I'm really excited because I actually spoke to multiple experts on this topic, which is going to be pretty fun. So let's just say they had some things to say about her science. Yeah.
It's Jesus Christ. Like, is she not concerned about going to hell? Like, what's like?
I mean, she is a very, very firm believer in hell. So
You would think then that she would say, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't cape for like the evilest thing this country's ever done."
Yeah, you would think. Do you want to do the same thing as always? We get to pick one, and the audience gets to pick one.
I think that works.
It's been a long time.
Have you seen the thumbnail I made for this, by the way?
No.
I titled it "Weenies versus Beanies."
Oh snap! We're the weenies.
We're the weenies. I thought I would do meanies versus beanies, but I didn't want to concede that I was being mean.
Where did you find this screenshot of Tim Pool? That's amazing.
I just Google image searched Tim Pool and I was like, that's the one.
This one speaks to me. Yeah, fair enough. Well, then I would ask if you had a chance to look at the collection of
I haven't.
Beautiful Tim Pool.
I haven't had a chance to look in months. Has he still got Moonlord?
Moonlord is still part of the Timcast IRL. Weedlord followed me on Twitter.
That's not fair. How come he didn't follow me?
Which I'm very excited about. Well, I made some posts about how like it's kind of strange that Tim lives on a compound where everyone he lives with are technically his employees, but he calls them all his family, and it's got a strange vibe. And then he wrote underneath that post like, I escaped, and then it wasn't until I liked his post I escaped or whatever, and then he followed me. And so I was like, well, this is a new part of the lore.
I need more monitors, I'm quickly realizing.
Like a third?
Yeah, I need a third monitor.
Oh, wow.
Because all the windows I need open to stream this shit.
Oh, fair enough.
All right. Okay.
Did you get it open?
I have the Tim Pool YouTube page open.
Okay. Would you like me to read some of these for the audience while we go through them? Republicans fail by ignoring local politics. Democrats win by grassroots. Bill Maher shocked to discover right-wingers in his anti-woke audience. Biden's approval hits another new low. A red wave is highly possible. DNC threatens to fire unvaxxed employees in epic authoritarian script flip. Script flip. There's so many ways you could have worded that, and that's what they went for. Steve Bannon flabbergasts left-wing media by calling for 20,000 shock troops. Parents, whoa, that might be the closest he has to, well, I mean, you can't really say until you watch it, but the closest he has to a non-pro right-wing talking point. Parent protests of school board meetings drive up chances of a 2022 red wave. He really likes talking about a red wave. DOJ classifies parents who protest school board meetings as terrorists. New York's largest healthcare provider fires 1,400 employees for refusing vax. Right-wing comic tops late-night ratings. Dem freak out. A lot of this is like Dems freaking out, vaccine mandates. There's a 2-hour special with Ariel Scarcella. My vaccine, yeah. Facebook shuts down completely for hours and hit with major hack. New Hampshire considers secession. Transhumanism may be unavoidable future of humanity. Dating apps drive women insane and turn men into incels. Reporters on borders collect wristband trafficking used for victims. China is playing a deadly role in the cartel on America's southern border. And some stuff about the Federal Reserve. Humans may be entering a new stage of interdimensional exploration. Those are always classics. Yeah. Yeah, probably not, but bizarre rat utopia experiment created a beautiful class of preening rats. That's a video. Man arrested for attempting to firebomb Democratic office. Cenk Uyghur says he can fight Joe Rogan and that he will end him. Supply chain workers warn about the global economy. Dems introduce. I mean, from what I've seen so far, I'd be leaning towards the dating apps drive women insane and men into incels. Obviously, interdimensional exploration. Well, obviously, I mean, there's nothing else I'd probably rather click on. Yeah. All right, let's go with let's go with interdimensional beings. Got to open up. And now I'm going to send you the watch together link, but I am going to display it publicly, so it can be hacked. It is in the chat.
I think there's
Who's Silicon Valley? Moonlord? Or the guy on screen? Oh, I have no idea who he is. Yeah, he kind of looks like the guy. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. It's also true. I'm ready when you are.
Sorry, I accidentally turned my mic off.
Oh, good.
I don't know how long I was
Wait,
just...
I can hear you.
I don't know how long I was just muted. Okay, I'm back. Hello,
Mildred
chat.
is only muted at twitch.tv/thoughtslime. Repeat everything they say. They are saying that they're muted.
About a minute? Dang it. All right. Shit happens, you know?
It's true. I mute at least once or twice a stream.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm ready when you are.
I'm hitting play.
Do it.
Oh, wait. How do I full screen this? Ah, there we go. Yep. Okay. Well. How about you hit play? I won't touch anything.
All right.
I think the interdimensional space it will be next. I think
That's
we're
James
gonna start
Middleditch for
exploring
sure.
that. I really do like.
Well, we're doing it.
I've been talking.
It looks very similar.
True. I've been talking to too many alien abductees who believe that the aliens are us from or versions of us from other dimensions.
Well, tell
and
us
not other space.
Like, let's hear some of these stories. What's really?
With the aliens?
Yeah, like, have you heard a story?
He reacted to that so matter-of-factly. Like that guy was just like, yeah, I've been talking, you know what? That's just me. I've been talking to too many alien abductees who think that aliens are us from the future. And Tim's like, expound upon that. Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, what would your reaction be? I'd probably be like, well, that's a, a wacky thing to say.
I imagine my
Out
reaction
loud.
would be along these lines. Is I would like that. Thereabouts.
In that arena.
Story that's kind of like rocked you to your core.
I wish I could say that, but I have met people who are, because I'm such a skeptic. Like I
That's
do
why it's
want to
good, though,
believe. I really
know?
do want to believe, and I'm willing to talk to
It's like,
everybody.
bro,
but
I'm such a skeptic, bro.
I met one person in particular. We talked for like 2 hours before we even got to aliens. Normal stuff, newspapers, just like media, culture. Really, really got down.
And you were like, "Who'd you vote for?" And he was like, "Oh, Biden." Oh, and by the way, I was abducted by aliens.
Oh yeah, basically, I was just like, so about the abduction story. And he's been abducted since he was 9, and he has a support group for UFO abductees or people
Like,
who've had
Okay,
encounters.
sorry.
And so they share all these stories. But he's been
I don't
abducted
think I
since
can
he was
stop
9,
that. Oh yeah, I can pause it. Or can I?
and he has very, very vivid memories.
Seems
of
like you're
being
having
I don't think I
some
can pause it.
looking
You have
over.
to pause it
for you.
uh,
Beep.
Nice. Why is he talking about this as it's like still a matter of factly? Like, wouldn't you propose this as like, yeah, this person claims they've been abducted since age 9, not he was abducted since age 9, just like putting it as in like, this is reality.
Well, just the way he phrased it also kind of implies that he has not yet returned.
Oh, true.
You know, he's been
Okay, we have much to
abducted since
learn.
he was 9. It kind of implies he never came back.
Peekskill, which is the town where the Yellow Brick Road was, the original Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And
Which was real.
and kind
The
of
original
covered over
Yellow Brick
trees.
Road.
And he believes that the beings that come for him are like avatars for beings that can't travel from other, if they're far away, from like far away planets. He's like they're controlling them because they have like a hive
It's like the
mind,
movie Avatar.
and they're like opening his skull. And he says he wakes up feeling these things, and he has a PhD in the spiritual awakening of being abducted. It's fascinating.
Like, wait, his
What?
actual PhD, or you're just saying figuratively?
no,
Well, I mean, yeah, accredited for sure. Definitely. I mean, the hardest part is getting in the program. Really, there's a lot of demand. You know, it's, but
Credit to Tim Pool. He just
Once you're
asked
in.
an extremely salient question.
Yeah, I know.
Because like immediately I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And Tim just goes, oh, you mean like, not literally, you're using this as an analogy for how much he knows about this.
yeah, of course, naturally.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, not like me, where I bought one for $20. He has an actual one.
So he thinks that they're electromagnetic drones, essentially, like they're
I don't
piloting.
know if they're
these-
electromagnetic. I don't know if he.
Where did you get that? Where did that come from? Electromagnetic drones. He said that they were
Yeah,
just
that was-
avatars of other creatures, and like Moonlord's like, oh yes, I see. So some sort of electromagnetic drone. That makes sense. That makes sense.
No, I've heard of this. Yeah, definitely. Moonlord's been pretty good lately, just for like popping in and knowing exactly not how to push the buttons, because Tim Pool likes to have his show run at a certain kind of wavelength, but just insert the right amount of drones, really.
But what I love about Moonlord as opposed to Weedlord, Weedlord was just a guy who was trying to be agreeable and friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Moonlord has his own like nonsense that he believes that he just cannot
Yeah.
wait to tell you about.
True. He's a free thinker. That's
Yeah,
the difference.
he wants to be let off leash so that he can talk about electromagnetic drones for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. He says he's touched them, and they have a like a hot sensation. He remembers like recoiling. But this has been happening to him since he was 9.
And they
he-
keep coming for him.
different ones. We all know about the
Just him.
Greys. That's what I asked him. So he also claims to be like a psychic. And I asked him if are the
Okay.
aliens coming. Are you?
What are the odds that in addition
Yeah,
to
I was like, in abduction bingo, we're crossing off quite a few letters right now. Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, and get this, he also claims he has an uncle that works at Nintendo that can get me all the games before they come out. So I've already played Metroid Dread. He gave me the cheat code that lets you take Samus's clothes off, so he's a pretty credible source.
That's so hot.
Are you a psychic as a consequence of the abductions, or because you're a psychic? Is that why they're coming to you? Because
Those are the two options.
He would fix computers for
No, there's nothing in between.
The 70s, after he got back from Vietnam, 70s, 80s, he's running around fixing like machines and computers. He never talked about being abducted because there was a stigma. You don't want to talk about that with people. So, but people would keep coming up to him and just talking about being abducted. They had the urge to tell him like their weird, not abduction stories all the time, but like we saw a UFO, something like that. And then, I think his wife might have been the first person he told, after 30 years of not telling anybody. So I want to say I believe him. It sounds.
You very clearly believe him. Like,
I was like you've had to backpedal how much you believe him as you saw the reaction from the host of the program you're on. You've had to dial it back a couple notches and be like, he says, well, he claims.
Yes. When Tim Pool is like, it's a little out there, but suddenly you've gone too far. Yeah.
I've gone too far.
It's crazy. Like his stories sounds legit to me. Like, but I also think.
What about it sounds legit? What about
what else? The interdimensional beings who come through avatars that abduct you to use your body for their space travel?
Yeah, what are you measuring this against? Like to say, oh yeah, that checks out. That checks out.
No, I'd actually love to know what's the barometer on this.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Yeah, I want to believe him.
Yeah, say what you will. His story checks out. Story makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might.
I just can't poke holes in it.
Horrible dreams and a reoccurring nightmare. But I also have then listened to different psychiatrists who say there's no way to have trauma from such an experience. Like these people who claim to be abducted, they have some type of trauma. So they can be hypnotized and they relive it.
I know people, I've known people throughout my life with schizophrenia. And I have heard stories about weird government abductions and experiments. And I'm just like, the things they say are overtly insane. It's one thing to be like, you need to believe me, man. Guys in suits came to my house yesterday and
this thrilling analysis from Tim Pool. Some people with schizophrenia are delusional. It's, you don't say, pal.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
be like, okay, but when they say things like they have nanotechnology devices that they've injected me with that cause...
You've said that. You did a whole episode on that. So...
Did he actually?
Yeah, remember we talked about the injecting the vaccine nanometers or.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I totally forgot about that.
So.
Good to know.
Invisible cameras to circle my head at all times, and I'm like, nothing's happening. Am I missing it? Where is it? Can you tell me where it is? I'm like, that's objectively nuts.
I have a theory about schizophrenia though. I think they're plugged in to a mind level that we don't understand. Yeah,
that's probably it. Probably what's going on is it might feel to you, if you have schizophrenia, it might feel to you like you're suffering or something is going wrong and you might need some sort of accommodation. But actually what's happening is that all of your delusions are correct. Yeah, it's a very responsible thing to say to thousands. I was going to say,
I'm really happy this guy isn't like a doctor or has the ability to treat people with schizophrenia, because that is probably amongst the worst advice you could give.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I think you're just on a higher level and there's nothing that needs to be done here. You just see the world in a better way than I do.
You're just a kind of K-Pax is what's going on here. Yeah. Is you're a K-Pax.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a sad thought though. Some people may just have misfiring brains and
sure.
And they need help. But yeah, I'm like, what if my friend is telling me the truth? They're actually seeing something that's real. And we're just sitting here because look, I've had friends who are They can have a conversation, and they can tell you like, "This is a bottle of water. I need to drink water and eat food. I went to work today," and then they'll say something like, "I can see the beings," and people will tell them they're crazy and they're schizophrenic, and it's just like, imagine if they really did, like in.
Okay.
Oh my
Pause it.
god, this is fucking.
He's describing almost like every contemporary horror film.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Like wouldn't it be wild if like the whole movie you think that like there's actually monsters attacking someone, but it turns out it's all in their mind? Wouldn't it be wild if the whole movie you think there's aliens attacking everyone, but it was just in one character's mind? Like that's
Yeah.
this just being like, laid out.
And as though they thought of it. Yeah.
Yes.
The Sixth Sense. The kid can see the dead people, but they just tell him he's crazy. Or in Constantine, it's a good example. In Constantine, the movie, he's like,
So we're 5 minutes in before the first comic book reference. Just in case anyone was.
We should have had Tim pull bingo again.
Yeah.
But there we have it. Yeah.
It's it's probably when I think about these people with actual mental disorders that make their lives difficult. It reminds me of the movie Constantine. That's
this is
like,
a responsible conversation to have.
Do you know what the difference is? And do you know why we can confidently say that people experiencing delusions are not in fact seeing extra dimensions and like some sort of parallel reality? It's because in the movie The Sixth Sense, he sees ghosts, and then the things that he couldn't have known outside of that are consistent with what he sees, right? So if he sees a little girl who got murdered, and she tells him, "I've been murdered," and then he goes and investigates it, and she hasn't been, or other people look into it and she hasn't been, you would then conclude, oh, that's not real. He's delusional. But since what he's seeing is corroborated by outside evidence, that's how you know, right? Mm-hmm. It's just,
what's really shitty about all this though is that like I think that trope that gets like, it's obviously very damaging to people who actually have these conditions.
Absolutely.
To always be like the character in the movie who's like, it was all in your head. You're just this. You're just blank, right? But Tim, I assume now, genuinely believes it. Like he gets too many life lessons from movies, so now he's like, well, that's actually a possibility. Like people who have schizophrenia could be seeing things that we don't, that just aren't there. They might have some kind of, I don't know, sixth sense that they're using.
It's just so frustrating.
like growing up, he could do these things. He could see the angels. And the
Shutter
demons,
Island was not a
and then
documentary.
Nobody believed him. They thought he was crazy, and they put him in hospitals. Imagine being told you're crazy when you're the one who's right, because
That's not that's not the plot of the film Constantine. Also, by the way, he could see angels and demons. Not all of his he just because he tried to kill himself and he saw hell and he came back. And,
you can see something that people can't.
That's like the
Hunter
prophet.
Biden's
Sorry.
laptop.
I was I was going to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, true.
Great minds. It's like we're in sync. I don't know what's happening right now.
Gun to my head, I never would have guessed what how they were gonna segue to something else.
No.
Hunter Biden's
Yeah,
laptop.
no.
How does that?
I don't know. Like how often do you have that running through your head where that's one of the first go-tos when it's like, whoa, yeah, exactly.
No, not
This is what it feels like. when
You're
it does
crazy.
crash.
That's not real. It never happened.
Didn't they just confirm that though?
Yeah. Right.
It took the corporate media, but I think
No one said what they
schizophrenia-
found on the laptop wasn't real. Like those pictures were widely publicized. It was very widely exposed.
No,
that
like
he
the
had done all
corporate
those
media.
things.
The
No-
corporate media wasn't talking about it. Is the thing.
Oh yeah, no, not once. Never, never once heard about Hunter Biden or his penis or like his involvement with drugs and other things. Like no, never once brought up. Yeah.
The corporate media tried to cover it up, which is also why, by the way, why corporations are good and capitalism is good, and you should obey corporations.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
People with schizophrenia are kind of plugged into an information dump, right? They can't turn it off. And not to say that kids are schizophrenic, but
This is not medical advice. Do not
lack
listen to
of
him.
filter
Please
between
consult
them
a
and the
doctor
world.
if you feel you may be
like I think when
schizophrenic.
you grow up.
Yeah, and just in general, don't listen to them. But like, especially if
that,
you're
like,
if you've been diagnosed
So
with
much of this
schizophrenia.
is dangerously wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we start to take on all of like the substance of materialism.
Like genuinely, one of my close friends, his brother is schizophrenic. This is like literally some of the worst advice you could tell someone who is in the middle of a schizophrenic episode, that you are tapped into something that we don't see, some higher power, and that maybe what you were seeing is actually manifesting itself as real, like actually like giving into the things that they're seeing. Like that is advice. It's very dangerous.
It's yeah.
Like just the routine of life, but kids are still thinking about aliens and ghosts and monsters, like my 5-year-old all the time, every night. That's all we talk about. And when I had a friend who was schizophrenic as well. That's all he talked about. I'm like, maybe they're just like sensing something that
wildly
we
different
can't
things
right now.
Wildly different things.
My kid is just crazy.
No, I think remote.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's pretty normal for your kid to do that.
No, maybe the reason my kid talks about aliens and monsters is because they're real and they can sense it with their extrasensory perceptions that you lose as you get older, unless you're schizophrenic, and then you keep it.
Yeah, of course. But then you're just right, because you see things on a higher plane that others don't. That's wild.
Viewing, that's a CIA project. The CIA investigates it because it's that seemingly legit. And there's stories about people that die.
Did you write about?
Okay,
No,
okay,
not yet.
pause it, please. Every single, and I mean this across the board, scientific study that has ever been done on whether or not human beings possess psychic powers or the ability to see things through clairvoyance or any of those other powers have proven definitively that we do not. We cannot sense what someone else is thinking simply by trying to read their brain. We cannot send brain waves. We cannot look at cards and know what the other card is, like across the board. There is he's right in that, there are experiments in which people have tried that, especially government officials, but
the minister could be real.
Yeah. That's the ridiculous part.
Yeah, no, it's in their head, like the CIA did an experiment on it, therefore it has credibility. Like the CIA also thought that if you gave people a bunch of LSD, you could use it as a mind control agent. Like they do dipshit things all the time, just trying them, seeing if it works.
They were correct that it's a very powerful military defoliant, though. I'm sure you've seen that black and white footage where all the soldiers are climbing up trees, rolling around on the ground and everything. They're like, oh wow, if we dumped a whole bunch of this on an enemy army, they would just be rolling all over the place. That did happen.
Project Looks, I think maybe is something.
Stargate was the one, and I think it changed names.
And then you get these anecdotal stories of people that die on the operating table, and then they are above their body watching, and they hear the doctors saying things, and then somehow they come back to life after a couple minutes, and then they recall the conversation to the doctor who's like, how did you remember?
Because they were there on the bed.
Yeah, how indeed. How indeed. How could they have heard that when they were in the room?
How did you know what we were saying directly in front of you unless you were hovering above us at the time?
It doesn't make any sense. I said that into the air above me.
Yeah. It just doesn't
They
add
were
up.
dead, but they completely unconscious. But they see themselves from above,
Yeah, but
and they see them what color she was wearing, and
yes, but the problem.
This the fades between them. It's so Tim and Eric, Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
The back and forth.
Yeah.
The problem with that is you could be semi-conscious and see a pink scrubs and see a doctor. You hear what they say, and afterwards you're like, you were talking about your football game, and the nurse was wearing pink scrubs, and how did you know that? But the crazier stuff I read about was that they would put numbers on the tops of things, and there were people who could tell you. They'd be like, on the top of the monitor was the number 6, and they would be like, what?
So you could be
you weren't able to see
measuring.
That.
I know, I'm probably bastard.
So many anecdotes.
Yeah, so I've heard of stories being done like that that came to the opposite conclusion. I've seen them do that, and it not. It's like, oh, they couldn't do it, but I've never heard one where it worked. Because you would think that would be like the biggest news story ever of all time.
Yeah, maybe around there. It would definitely change our understanding of physics and just how the known universe operates.
Yeah, I think
it would call into question a lot of our scientific discoveries throughout history.
I do think that if scientists did an experiment and it seemed to suggest that there was conclusively an afterlife, I would have heard about that one.
Yeah, It would have been a big thing. But
Yeah.
again, the floating, and how do you explain that, Mildred? Like, how does one float above someone else and then they know what they said?
How does someone
Conclusively.
on an enormous amount of painkillers have some sort of sensation of being upside down? Some sort of vertigo. Doesn't make any sense.
It's very weird. There's only one explanation, really.
Advertising the vibration, but you can measure the vibration around you and basically measure the matrix. All you need to know is where something is, how much of it there is, and what it
Yes.
is. And then you can
Yes.
map that onto a three-dimensional grid on a XYZ axis and build the
Keep
matrix.
letting them speak.
So if you're feeling the vibration of the matrix, you may be able to calculate what everything is that's causing that vibration. And maybe on some subtle level, people are picking up on
Yes.
that. Because how else would you see
Oh.
a 6 on top of a monitor?
Smash that like button.
They would have like
How else would you see a 6 on top of a monitor?
You're
No other
describing sound. What you're describing is sound.
It's like there's these waves all around us, and they
They-
emanate from our bodies based on decibels. It's incredible. We can measure them.
Yeah, you can just measure the matrix. You can just
Voices.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, put enough together and you got the matrix.
Oh, Moon Lord, I love you. Oh, this is
Yeah,
what I'm talking
definitely
about.
the
This is
best
what
part
I'm
of the
talking
show.
about.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they'll give him
Best
they'll
part
give
of
him
the
the
show.
smallest amount of runway, and like just did you see how wide his eyes were getting as he was telling that story?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he was scaring
Oh, yeah.
himself.
And now what's the pushback going to be?
cards and stuff on it that could only be seen from looking down.
Oh, we're
And
back
there
on
would
this,
be
huh?
People who would be like, "I saw this card and it said these things," and they'd be like, "Wow."
I was trying to help solve a
That's the
serial killer
pushback.
case
There
a
you
few
go.
years ago. The Long Island serial
Good.
serial killer.
Yes, you're on
And
the
through
case.
that,
Just
I was
who I
talking
want.
to some cops.
Turns out they were killed by aliens. Who would have thought?
Yep, he was just a figment of our imagination the whole time.
Yeah.
That's gonna be his official report to the police. Like, yeah, I cracked it. It turns out it was all in my mind.
It's
Wait.
now. I'm saying that Bernie Sanders did it. He might not have been in the state at the time. I believe that he astral projected to kill these people. And I've checked it out. It all checks out. Story checks out.
It does. It's rock. It's solid.
Cops who used people who tried remote viewing to find bodies, because this particular killer left like basically a graveyard in Long Island, body parts all over the place that would match with other parts of Long Island. It was, and parts that were there for like one part they found a torso in the middle of Long Island, and they found the hands 30 years later.
Whoa.
Yeah, but there was a guy in Norway and a guy I think in Jersey, who were trying to like find.
This was the
remote view,
segue after the
and
whole
guy in Norway-
vibrations matrix part, by the way.
Yeah.
This was the jump off. It's like, well, that's a good time for me to bring up how I've been working on cold cases for the last little while, volunteering, if you will, to solve serial killer mysteries for the police. Good as time as any to start talking about my side project, side hustle, if you will.
It's like, if nothing else, if you've never seen I don't care how much of a filthy lib you are. If you see this and you're not on board with defunding the police, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they're just spending money on remote viewers to like come in and go can you use your psychic powers on this? I don't know. If we don't spend all the money in the budget, then we don't get as much next year.
Let's hire that guy. Yeah, you know the guy. Maybe he'll bring the vibrations dude along with him.
Yeah, what does it say in the Matrix, bud?
Yeah.
Supposedly, according to the reports out there, I talked to him, he helped find a body. And he's just sitting in a room, just like doing what he does. I tried reaching out to him to help find some people, because we still don't know who some of the victims are.
But they gave them information. Doesn't that person
In
just
Norway.
But don't they just become
Yeah.
a suspect at that point?
He should. I should
Where's
reach
the
back out to
body
him.
at?
He's
I can tell
probably
you
in
where the
jail.
body is.
Yeah, I had this great source, but now he's in jail.
You should. I don't know if I told this before. Look, you should check out the Istall woman and the Talmud Shud case.
Yeah, you did. That's on
Yeah,
the list.
the ice woman of Norway, dude.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story.
What was that deal? What was the
So
deal?
a woman was found like dead of smoke inhalation with a bunch of passports or something.
Right.
And there's a bunch of like questions about who she was, how she died. And I think the prevailing theory is that she was a Mossad agent tracking down Nazis. And one of the Nazis she was tracking down to assassinate got the best of her.
Oh, that's good.
Crazy
That's
stories,
good.
dude.
Yeah, no, we're getting into
That's good.
That's good.
That's a weird reaction. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's
Get her.
Yeah.
Get her.
Yeah, she got what was coming. Yeah. How dare you hunt Nazis?
This is what's really crazy is like I think about history, I think about stories like that, and I'm like, you know what the craziest thing is? A large portion of our history is probably the result of a deep conspiracy we'll never know about. True history is probably long forgotten and long lost because you can look at it today. A news article will come out and they'll say something that's like technically the truth, you know. And then I'll give you a good example. Like Newsweek wrote about the Trump supporters wanting to secede and the Biden voters also agreeing. And they said Trump voters want the country to break apart. What they didn't include was like, yeah, but 41% of Biden voters agreeing is like a substantive number. So it's not only Trump supporters, but history will record the framing of it. So I think back to like...
It's not how history is recorded.
No. And I'm very confused as to why this was brought up now after that last story of the woman who got hunted by the Nazis.
Well, because
killed.
it proves that all of history is a conspiracy of epic proportions.
Okay.
We'll never know how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You know, there are a lot of like, I don't appreciate how you said this about this person because it makes it sound like X when it's more like Y. And some people just disagree on framing. And then you look back at history being written by the winners. It's not just that. It's like, you know, we hear these famous quotes. Benjamin Franklin, it is better that 100 guilty persons escape than one innocent person suffer. And he could have, maybe what he said or wrote down was substantially more crass or crude. And then later on, someone who knows and loved him said, I'm going to remove that swear word. Thanks for checking out this clip from the...
Good time to cut that one. So, did you learn about exploring interdimensional space and aliens could be us from another dimension? Because I think there was, in terms of the title,
That
of this
wasn't
video,
even
there
in
was
there.
one
Yeah.
moment.
They never even
Well,
got
there
to
was
that.
the avatars and the guy who was being abducted. So maybe that's it. Like that, you know, that's as close as I can get to that being related to what
do
the
they
episode
mean?
was about.
Us from another dimension. Like,
Aliens could
are
be
we going
us
to go
from-
to another dimension in the future?
Oh, maybe we populated another planet.
By us, does he mean humans or
Maybe
literally ourselves?
It depends where the architects go to seed the planets. That's part of it. I can only assume that idea of you know, human beings colonize the galaxy somehow. Maybe we just distribute semen into space. I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe. I think it probably what happened is Tim just watched What If, and now he's thinking about multiverses.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, people watching. Well, now's the fun time where we need feedback from you. Which ones do you want me to load up the poll with? I guess I'll keep an eye out on
Now,
every single chat. And
Do
see
you
what
look
everyone
at
wants.
the Tim Pool channel or the Tim Cast channel?
The Timcast IRL videos?
Okay.
The IRL ones are the one that have Moonlord and he's necessary.
Oh, yeah. I can join this channel and get all sorts of perks. That's cool.
It's true.
They're live
We're
now.
also doing rank choice voting.
44,000 people watching.
Oh, he's live right now?
Yeah, 44,000 people are watching him. Just so you...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is unreal. 44,000.
Yeah.
That's an entire stadium listening to them talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sure is, bud.
Wow. So someone said the rap one, the dating one. Okay.
The dating one for sure.
Yeah. The Bill Maher one.
Oh. Right-wing comic tops late night ratings. Dem Media freaks out. Is that Gutfield?
Oh no.
If that's Gutfield, that would be so funny.
Oh. Well, I guess we don't have to listen to Gutfield. We can just hear them talk about Gutfield as if it's good.
But I
Yeah,
love
like,
listening
I know-
to Gutfield. He's so funny.
So painful. Yeah, you know that incredibly cringe Stephen Colbert vaccine bit that was kind of the launching pad where everyone started saying that Gutfield actually is doing better than Colbert in his own slot. Right wing is topping left wing comedy, or liberal comedy, I should say. What?
Oh, this is fun. Facebook shuts down completely for hours and hit with a major hack. That's not true, and he's left that up for 2 days.
Hit with a
Isn't that
major hack. Yeah, that's a complete fabrication.
That's not what happened.
It's not what happened. I don't even know a lot about technology, but I know enough to be able to follow that. The Rogan one, yeah, I got that one. And Rogan. Okay, so I have the Rat one, the dating one, the Bill Maher one, the right wing comic tops late night slot one, Cenk from the Young Turks and Rogan one, and then Facebook hit with a major hack one. Should add one. Is there any others?
I think that's a good sample.
That's a good sample. Okay, allow me to explain to everybody who has not enjoyed democracy in its purest form before. We're doing ranked choice. So what you got to do is you got to put them in order from top to bottom. The top being the one you want the most, the bottom being the one you want the least. And then through this process, we'll get the most democratic decision on what everyone technically would love to have. So I will send this to you, Mildred. Hold on a sec. All right, you got yourself a poll. I put it in this chat. I'm going to put it in this chat. And there's a poll in the chat, everybody. So if you want to do a democracy, do that. I think I'm going to go with dating right way. Facebook hit with a major hack. Yeah.
I'm putting it in my chat as well.
Voice.
Spamming it in
Can
there.
you entertain Solo for 2 seconds so I can grab a privation?
Sure.
Thanks.
It's Piss Gang. It's Piss Gang. Hashtag Piss Gang for life. What's up? He
That
had to know.
name is that name is from a white nationalist organization.
We're recouping it. We're taking it back.
There's no reappropriating. It's dead to the world.
It's like Pepe. We're taking it back.
It was gone. You couldn't even wait till I had stood up and left the room.
I saw the camera turn off and I was so excited.
I hate you.
Like, if you'll notice on my screen, his avatar, it's even like kind of a yellowy color. Like, that's the color of a piss that is if you're not a healthy person. If you don't drink enough water. Did you notice how he said that he was gonna get a drink instead of saying he was gonna take a bio break because he knew I would pounce on it? He knew I would say hashtag piss gang. You know what keeps tripping me out too? I don't know if you can see my cursor, but see the one that's yeah, you can see my cursor. This one here. Out of the corner of my eye, I keep thinking that's Mike Stoklasa from Red Letter Media. I keep thinking that's him, and I could see it. I could see him appearing on Timcast. Just out of the corner. I know it doesn't really look like him, but out of the corner of my eye, it's just like, I don't know, something about the shape of him. He's got a Mike Stoklasa silhouette. The dating one is in first place. Yeah, because it's a spicy content. It's people want to hear about the romance, and they want to hear about sex from Tim Pool, international expert on sex and dating. Did I do a video on this person already? I did one on Tim Pool about him in Malmö, Sweden. Which, if you liked that video, by the way, you should definitely check out Vadim Newquest's coverage of it. Because he did some work on that one. Holy smokes.
Okay.
Hello.
Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Nice. Why am I not here though? Camera's not on. Oh, there it is. Nice. Oh, great. My entire chat is filled up with the word piss.
Why?
How that could have happened?
Why? What do
I
you
don't
think?
know. It's unusual. Why? Like now all of a sudden there's all these people being like piss daddy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
How could that have
Jeez.
happened?
Sounds like you should just kind of own it, you know? Like if that's how it's going to be.
Damn you. Looks like the dating one is winning the ranked choice, followed by right wing comic tops late night slot 1, then the rat one. It's not even close. I think the dating one's just gonna take it.
Yeah, it seems that way. Because I want Tim Pool to teach me how to kiss.
Okay, you should probably explain to everybody some Tim Pool lore for anyone who's new to this about how Tim has said it was a very trad wife comment. It was along the lines of like, I just don't understand. It's so hard to find a partner. Do you remember what the
So
context
he
of
didn't
that
want
whole
to.
thing
He
was?
didn't want someone with a career.
That's right.
Because he wanted someone. I can't even remember his fucked up justification for it.
It was something along those lines. I can't use my chat. It's just unusable now. It's just a whole bunch of piss. I am ready when you are.
Yeah, let me just fix up my window. All right, this guy, eminently dateable.
Yes, I am ready to learn Chadvice from the alphas.
Yeah.
That's what I am here for.
He in no way looks like he skins women alive.
No, not whatsoever. Definitely wouldn't
impacts
be
on the
under the
dating.
dictionary definition for that.
Market actually is that women can look in their phone and look at all of the most attractive men, the most appealing men from every city in America,
And vice versa, yeah.
and so they're like, oh well, I'm going to hold out for that guy, right? But instead there's all these sort of like
Oh no, we're doomed. They
out
have
the gates.
standards. What are we gonna do? God damn
I like
it.
someone added and vice versa.
All of these women are just holding out for guys that they want to date. It's what kind of world is this?
The Chads, as I'm told.
decent guys all around them. Like, no, I'm going to get that guy over there who's in California.
Not to be the feminist in the room, but I've totally seen
Yeah,
it
you
go-
are.
I am. I've totally seen it go both ways though, where guys will be like, "All right, I'm going to look at these women on the internet." And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. If you find someone who works better for you and they're not in your community, go for it.
But let's break down what's happening. To women,
Okay.
you go on a dating app, they look in their messages, and there's like, they've matched with everyone they've chosen. So they're on Tinder, right? And they're like, ugly, ugly, attractive, ugly, attractive, ugly, attractive.
I think this says more about your Tinder process, Timothy, than
Yeah, I think
that of
I think it's
women.
a self-report.
yeah.
They close the app and then goes, brr, 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 instantly 3 messages.
yeah, yeah.
So what's happening to guys? Guys are swiping on literally every woman,
Yeah.
hoping that
Yeah.
one of them will like them and they can message them. But
Again, I don't know if that's necessarily true, Tim. I feel like
I was gonna
maybe
say,
yeah.
I have lots of friends who are using these apps on a daily basis. Like, they're not just free swiping. you just do it in your spare time. Just close your eyes. You just got to sit while you're watching TV, just doing this motion for like an hour. Like, oh, okay, that's all the matches.
Well, they might be doing that motion, but it's for a very different reason.
Yes, also true.
But it's also like it's such a cell phone. It's like the greatest cell phone I've ever heard.
It's a self-report.
Yeah.
back. So here's what we end up seeing. The internet age has created 2 forks.
And they don't
in the
message
genders.
back. Ouch.
Women who can choose the most attractive men, even unattractive women. This is crazy. The data from these dating apps shows that even women who are considered to be average or unattractive still get the top tier guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. It should be the other way around. Oh no.
We gotta put a stop to this. Yeah, this is. Well, first off, this sounds utterly absurd, but sure. Whatever you say, Tim.
Well,
I've given up on the whole citation needed when watching these things, because like we're never going to have him be like, and you know, this is from blank and here it is in the description, and then go look at it and it represents the data that I just spoke of, kind of thing.
I would encourage anyone who's never been a woman on a dating site to ask a friend of theirs who is a woman on a dating site to just peep at the male options, because I assume what Tim is saying is true. Probably it's the same 10% of guys that women are messaging, because almost everyone is a ghoul, is an undateable monster ghoul who's it's just like all of their photos are them like holding up fish and like, you know,
or other dead animals.
Yeah. Taking photos like from this angle with a front-facing camera, you know, it's just, it's not because like women are being too choosy. It's because men put zero effort into their profiles and like showcasing why they would be dateable at all.
It's also true.
Yes.
So what happens to a guy who's a 7 out of 10? He's got a good career.
Couldn't tell you.
Moderately attractive. No, I can tell you. He goes on the website and looks up creepy, crazy adult content, and then just isolates, plays video games, and then thinks he's a subhuman.
And then he becomes a
and
6.
here's the thing.
Okay, whoa. This just gamergated so fast. So absolutely fast. That was like a speed run. He thinks he's a subhuman and then buys a gun. You know, like I mean,
because he couldn't get a date on Tinder. So obviously, what else are you gonna do?
It's game over. I almost like, you know what I really loved? I know it's going to be a total side note. That video you did on dating, and the whole premise being that like this whole corner of the internet market is dominated by just the worst people. Yeah. Like the worst actors, like pickup artists or MRA artists or all of that. They're like, it's so sad that is what the average person who is like, you know, a young single male just has to turn to.
Someone who just wants like connection and some sense of like,
and I'm lonely. Like, what can I do to improve myself? And the only results will be like, are you ready for the Sigma grind set, bro? The only true Sigmas will achieve the ultimate Stacies. And you're like, I guess this is normal advice for humans. And then you click on it, and fucking it does turn people into like this weird paradigm where we're all just thinking of each other as sex objects, walking like, you know, fleshlights and stuff like that. Like it's really unfortunate, because like legitimately good advice probably will not be nearly as profitable if you actually tell people the truth about like meeting people and dating and all that kind of stuff.
I also don't want to put too fine a point on this, but like, now mind you, I've been in a monogamous relationship for 6 years with a woman I met on a dating app, by the way. But before that, like, I don't think I'm some like, I wouldn't even put myself at 7 out of 10. And if I wanted, I could have had a date every night back then. Because what I did was I put words in my profile, and I would talk to people like a human being, and like instead of just like sending dick pics or like, you know, you up.
It's never worked once, but today could be the day. You know?
Yeah,
like, we're batting 0 for 1,000, but hey, baby, eventually one pick will land me my queen. So, how did you meet? Well, funny story. I took a picture of my cock.
Yeah,
emailed it to her, and the next thing you know,
she's like, "Oh, I love that. I love that for you." Yeah, but then there I go, being the feminist in the room again.
Oh yeah, fuck. You should be ashamed of yourself. But thank you for identifying that, just so I knew. It's a good self call out. Someone had to.
No.
But
here's the thing. The point I'm making is here's what I want to listen. This is what I'm saying. There are two trees. Yeah. Women are getting to choose anyone they want, and men are getting nothing, and so they become addicted to.
But there are roughly equal numbers of men and women. That math just doesn't add up.
But what is the stat that is like? I'm willing to learn. I'm like, you know, I'd be curious to know, because I too have like been in a monogamous relationship for a long time. So like, I would be curious to know how this lines up. Is it honestly that like women? It's okay. This doesn't add up. That it's like women, even like, you know, the average ones, even they're cleaning up with the hot guys. The 7 out of 10 men who have good jobs should be able to get like hotter women. Like this, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I've helped a female friend with her Tinder profile, like a couple months ago, and I got to tell you, I did not feel like she was being too choosy, if anything, because the amount of just fucking, just utter goblins that messaged her, like it was truly dire, just like
Wow.
fucking a douche parade over there on Tinder. Like it could not be farther from what Tim is asserting, because here's all you got to do. Take a picture of yourself where you're wearing clean fitting clothing and there are no other people in the picture. Just get someone else to take a photo of you, put that up. That, I guarantee, that makes you more attractive than 90% of the dudes on Tinder.
And another really good piece of advice would be stop listening to the programming that Disney and every other like rom-com has put into your mind about how everyone has a soulmate, and that the only way for you to succeed at dating is to stalk people and just grind them down and pursue them and consistently go after the same person again and again and again, a la Notebook, because that is just creepy behavior. And you should be dating tons of people, because who knows? One of them could turn out to be much more wonderful than the other ones. Don't limit yourself to this is one man, one woman. This is how I was programmed, or one man, or one woman, or non-binary and man. It doesn't matter, but don't give in to
do
that.
be honest with them about it. Like, don't play with people's hearts or anything. But like,
Sorry, that's not my point. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're not. But I didn't want it to. Yeah.
Yes.
But also, it's good if someone rejects you, they're doing you a favor. I know it hurts and it stings, but like, that's actually the kindest thing they can do, because they're sparing you from being with somebody who doesn't value you. So like, this idea that like if women reject you, that makes you like less than human, is just such a fucked up idea. Because like, would you really prefer that like a woman who wasn't attracted to you was forced to be in a relationship with you? Like, wouldn't that make you know? Is that what you want?
Yeah. Is that what anyone wants? Like, it's also that thing where I think when you hyper focus on one person for so long, and then you finally like try to like, even in the like odd times that those work out, when you finally date that person, you can find out you despise them. Like, you don't like them at all. And this whole thing was a massive mistake. And the idea that you've kind of been like, oh, this is the only way this will work. I have to get with my true love and all that kind of stuff. It's
why you got to get a ring on them fast. Trust me.
Yeah. Lock them down, bro.
Creepy adult films and weird stuff, and then you get the hikikomori. You guys know what that is?
Yeah, it's Japanese kids, people that stay in their house all the time, right?
They lock themselves in their rooms. There was a viral. There's the r/Tinder, and there was a message where someone like messaged a woman, or I don't think it was Tinder. I don't know what it was. Cringe. It was a cringe thing on Reddit, and they were like messaging a woman saying, why do women claim they want intelligent men, but then choose really dumb built guys? Why won't they spend time talking to us subhumans and things like that? There was this a story I read about
but that guy's just bitter. Like, that's just a bitter guy.
Yeah.
That's all that is. And I will say this also. If a dude is like really jacked, that takes a certain amount of intelligence to be able to do. It is difficult to track.
Also,
like,
free time.
You got to track your macros and shit. That's not easy to do.
Also true.
Incels, involuntary celibates, where apparently some like journalists actually found out they were all rather average dudes. They weren't subhuman. They weren't gross. They weren't ugly. They had good careers. The term
subhuman?
But they thought
he brought up this subhuman as like them feeling subhuman, but now he's kind of acknowledging that there is a class.
Straight up saying the term subhuman.
Yeah. As though we should take it for granted that, obviously some guys are subhumans and they should be lonely forever. But these guys aren't.
Oh, of course, yeah.
These are just normal guys.
No. Yeah.
They were because they could not get a relationship. All this internet's doing is making it's polarizing. It's pulling out the extremes in basically everything from politics to dating to economics. I mean, look at super stonks, look at the apes. Everything is dialed up to 11 because of the internet, because of the speed of communication.
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I think this video will no longer be about the topic of the video, because we've reached that point where they've kind of like, we're gonna go on a tangent right now. I could be wrong, but just based on our experience and how focused they stay on a subject, I think we've already moved on to something completely different. But again, I'm willing to be surprised.
I think you're right. I would put money down. Yeah.
So here's, I want to throw this out there. I agree with you that the internet has accelerated a lot of those very unfortunate social changes, but I would say that that's a product of the sexual revolution and not the internet itself. The fact that people are pursuing meaningless sexual relationships and hooking up with other people rather than trying to get married and build families is a huge part of why.
The feminists.
Yeah, when people invented fucking in the 1960s, it really turned things around.
Oh my Jove, we've invented this new thing, penetration. Hopefully it works out for everyone involved, yes? Thanks, feminist in the room.
Women will gravitate to a smaller minority of men. In a natural setting, or in a decent culture, I should say, where people understand that the purpose of sexuality is unity and procreation, and they want to get married and have children, you're looking...
It's just... Jesus Christ. Like... why can't we find dates? I don't know. I don't get it.
Every woman I talk to, I just open up with, "Are you ready to be procreated? Are you a walking vessel for my semen?" And it just hasn't worked out yet. It's very unusual.
You understand that you are merely an incubator for my brood, do you not?
looking for someone who's going to be a stable marriage partner and not necessarily the Chad or the Stacy, to use these terms. And so if you had the internet being used by virtuous people to find a decent spouse, we wouldn't have this problem. But what happens is the woman may be looking for a spouse, to be honest, but the guys who match with her are not. And so then they...
Yeah, it's you could say that some women are Madonnas and others are whores. Is probably...
There's a book title for you, Mildred. If you ever get out of the YouTube game and want to enter the literary, you got yourself a title right there.
They end up having a lot of meaningless sexual encounters, and then when they're older, and of course there's no meaningless sexual encounter, right? There's some attachment that occurs, and then it...
But you'd nut.
You would hope.
If it feel good to nut.
Well, that was utterly meaningless. No procreation occurred.
Yeah, we didn't even have a baby.
No
What's the point?
What am I doing here? What the fuck? What have we been doing this whole time?
I will argue that perhaps from his sexual partner's perspective, there was indeed no point. But to him, surely there must be.
Breaks
it might
off.
be time to start soaking. You might be ready to start enter the good world of soak. Start the process.
What is soaking again?
Oh, did you not learn about this internet phenomenon?
I heard
week?
about it, but I forgot.
Oh, I'm so happy to be able to educate another person on this process. So I'm sure you're aware of the Christian community and how they do not want to sin in the eyes of God.
Of course.
And so in order to not do that, they don't want to involve themselves in a sexual penetration, as it were. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sure you've also heard that Mormons, for example, have considered anal sex to be an alternative to regular sex, and one that is not as sinful. There's a new one. There's a new penetration in town, and this ain't your grandma's penetration. This is soaking.
Never say the phrase "your grandma's penetration" to me ever again.
This again is where you do not move, and that's it. It's a cheat. It's a cheat code. It's the Konami code of sex. If you don't move, you're technically not having sex. And this is soaking. You are allowed to have a friend jump on your bed, which, I'm going to be frank with you, sounds way more kinky than just normal sex. You're like, all right, me and my partner are going to remain motionless together, intertwined, while you, Jimmy, jump as hard as you can up and down beside us and encourage us not to achieve completion, because that's also a part of it.
In their mind, God Almighty is watching this.
Yes.
And he's like, well, technically, they're not doing the thing I said not to do. So, I mean, they got me. They outsmarted me with this one.
Tricky Mormons.
Often, hurt in some way, and she ends up unhappy because she doesn't find a long-term partner. She found some dudes who wanted to use her body. And then you end up with, like you said, a class of men who a lot of women won't talk
That's
to.
so rich.
Because
he clearly like wants to use their bodies.
Yeah, for procreation.
That's the whole
Yeah,
ethos of this. Yeah, for brooding. Like,
Yeah.
he wants to breed and have his trad wife. Like, how dare you use my bodies for sexual satisfaction? It must be used for fertilization. Clearly,
all of these guys just want to have sex with these women when what they should want is to make them domestic slaves. To make them cook all their food and wash all their clothes for them, like God said to do.
It's the natural progression.
It's virtuous.
they are pursuing men who just want them for the short term. They're not looking at the guys who actually would be interested in being with them for the long term.
It's tough. As somebody that's not been in the dating market for a while, like 6
Due to a court order.
7 years. I do remember what it was like. And fortunately for me, I'm tall, I'm handsome, successful. I did not have that experience. I had the opposite experience where there was a lot of opportunities. But I would,
I just want to be clear that I don't have this problem. I got a big dick and everybody thinks I'm cool. So
definitely very secure sounding in that statement. No, I'm just tall, handsome. Ladies fall over themselves for me. I don't have this problem. I don't know what you nerds are talking about.
yeah. I mean, obviously I sympathize, but I get all the trim I can handle. So
yeah, the bucket can only hold so much,
talk to I would like get their feedback, and they were all miserable about it.
Yeah.
And the whole
boy, what a weird coincidence. All of these women who dated you were miserable. It must be the dating app's fault. It's got to be what's happening there.
Really, the apps I'm not using. It's their fault, you see.
setup, I don't even know if people even use those apps anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like Tinder,
dude.
yeah, it's really
I have Tinder,
unfortunate.
yeah.
I started using it in 2013 as a social experiment for Minds because we were looking at implementing dating software into the website, kind of like a chat roulette type thing. And then I kind of got addicted to it. I actually met a girl on OkCupid. We dated for 3 years. She's a good friend of mine to this day. And I still use it from time to time, but I feel so depressed and dirty when I do, and it's very ineffective, especially out in the country like this.
Well, like the idea
Well,
of just like swiping on people like that
Right,
too.
such a quick decision.
Yeah.
I mean,
But no, it isn't. It doesn't have to be.
It's as fast as you make it.
Yeah, the people.
You can read.
Yeah, you can put up like your profile. I haven't been in there because like back when I used it was like 6 years ago. So it was literally just like photos and like a brief description. But like I'm to understand now that it like has like you can put like your Spotify playlist in there so they know what kind of music you like. Like you can learn a lot about people.
Oh, that's cool.
And like I tended to prefer OkCupid back when I would use these apps because it like let you give as much information as you wanted. You could really like, get as into it as you like. I remember the joke I used to use was on OkCupid. One of the fields was you should message me if and blank, right? Like so you fill it in.
Yeah.
And I said, you want me to join a cult or you want to serve me a deposition?
That's funny.
And I got a lot of messages from people going like, I got a cult for you to join. My nuts.
That's
But yeah,
there's the advice, everybody. Open with a joke.
yeah, like if you want to attract non-shallow people, simply be interesting. Simply be an interesting person. It's all it takes.
I met my fiance. We're getting married next year. I met her. We've been together over 7 years. I met her on OkCupid, and what was great about it is it was like a database. I could just be like, I like this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing and this thing.
You've seen the studies.
Back in the day, OkCupid was like you had a profile.
Yeah.
So you go on, and we're starting to
now?
see the emergence of these issues. OkCupid published a lot of data.
Oh, I saw. All
They
that, yeah.
mentioned they actually deleted one. They had a story about incels and ugly men, and they said if you're ugly, you're out of luck. And then they took it down.
OkCupid? Yeah. Well,
But, and I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but it's always been harder to date if you're ugly.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a new phenomenon.
No, that started in the 1960s.
Oh, I see. Because of the sexual revolution, right?
Because of the sexual revolution, yeah.
Well, they did a study where they found out, based on the way men and women were selecting, that men rate 50% of women as below average, and women rate something like 70% of men as below average.
Yeah, right.
Way too generous. Way too generous, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know how the math works out, but somehow like 99% of men are below average. I don't know how that works, but
Well, there was this little known fact too that OkCupid sorted you into the good-looking pile and the bad-looking
That's
pile.
also sad. Yeah.
Right, so like if you got rated highly enough, they just put you in this whole other category, and all you saw were other people that were highly rated. And so like I once started a second account, and like
Put up bad pictures of yourself. Uploaded pictures of me.
I actually
You're
believe this. This seems like something that a tech company would do. This seems very AI-driven tech company. This will keep more people in this regard and make more people look at the site and keep more eyes on it and make more profit. This seems like,
they do. They do.
Definitely plausible.
But like, shouldn't that fix the problem that they're talking about? If indeed,
Yeah, you would think that would eliminate their entire ethos here. But
if the idea is that if these Uggo girls are getting all the hottest guys, surely these Uggo girls are being sorted into the Uggo pile, so that
That's
they can
true,
only have
actually.
access
I
to
never thought
Uggo
about that.
guys. Shouldn't this be what they want? Like if you were obviously it's awful, but like it sounds
that
like
was what you were going for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I started
the math checks out.
the second account, and I was like, wait, like I thought that there was just nothing but good-looking women on OkCupid, and then I started the second account. And I'm like, well,
You didn't do that. You did. This is just this guy going like, yeah, I was in the good-looking pile for sure. Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine? He's like, so he has an account. He spent time curating this account, but he's super popular and he's in the alphas. And then he's like, you know what? Just for kicks, I'm going to spend time curating a shitty account intentionally of myself to test a theory that I'm just talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
It's a
something
real thing
wrong
that
with this website. All I'm getting is messages from beautiful women. I got to fix this problem. This can't be.
actually,
There's nothing that can be done.
The case.
Someone actually requested that we build dating software with the Timcast model, and I think maybe if we could do like open source, so you see the algorithm's not forcing you to look at what it thinks you
Look,
qualify for.
What is the,
No,
what is the
do
Timcast
that.
model?
Do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yes. No,
Please.
no, this is a great idea. I'm just curious how it works. I want to know what the Timcast model is.
I
Like,
just want a bunch of really easy to catfish dudes. You imagine you would be rolling in bitcoins after like a day.
so true. Okay, looking for my sweetheart Stacy here. What is it, like 40 billion Shibu Inu coins or whatever will enter, grant you access to my email address. That's so true.
Brunch, okay? Jack Brunch, come down on a Sunday afternoon after church. There's like 50 dudes and a bunch of women, but 50 dudes. You know that they're in like masculinity, they're into brotherhood, they're into sovereignty, they're red-pilled, they're fit, they're strong, they make money, they're well-dressed.
What? That list went off the rails fast. They're into sovereignty. Like, is that a?
Wait, what are you into, man?
How sovereign do you like your nation states? Ooh, yeah. The question everyone asks on a first date, you say.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like
and red pilled.
it's like I thought I had it bad when I would have to say comic books and horror movies, but at least I don't have to say sovereignty.
Sovereignty, yeah, or red pill philosophy.
And some of them are single. Come on down. We'll match make.
What? How?
Jack Brunch.
How are these? You telling me these guys, or someone didn't scoop them up? Okay.
Well, there's the other thing too. Even outside of the
They are
internet,
into sovereignty.
unfortunately, many of the social avenues available for young people are very nefarious, and a lot of that is because we don't have a church-centered community in this country anymore. And so people will go out to.
That's why the best dating site is Christian Mingle. Yeah, that one
By
famously doesn't have these problems.
Nothing bad ever happens there.
a bar or a club to meet someone, which is not necessarily where you're guaranteed to meet a high quality person who's going to be interested in a long-term relationship.
There's nowhere where you can go that is guaranteed to give you that. It's
Nowhere?
nowhere. Nowhere.
No, not,
Where would
not even
you-
Tim Pool's dating algorithm-based dating website.
Well, obviously
or
that's
whatever.
different. That's different. Go
Yeah.
there and have your Bitcoin wallet handy.
Get out your Doge.
Yeah, because if you want, I want you to prove to me that you're marriage material and that you're sovereign. So
You're red-pilled.
Yeah.
Are you red-pilled, breedable, sovereign? Sorry, not even sovereign. Into sovereignty.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to say. That would be such a red flag for like a woman if the opening statement is like, "Are you into sovereignty?" I'm not into whatever conversation you're trying to have with me is right now, but sure.
yeah, I'm struggling to understand why these guys think that it's impossible to talk a woman into dating you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder what people's expectations are. And again, I have lived I've gone through like a hedonist phase for many years.
Yeah, just to be clear, I've pounded, I've done a lot of
Yeah,
fucking.
I fucked. All
Yeah.
right, you know this whole retired mall Santa look doesn't trim its own beard, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about the birds that live in my beard and eat the food crumbs that trickle down. I'm talking about real women too.
Yeah, yeah. You know, real Stacys, every one of them,
Yeah.
all red pilled and sovereign.
Yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned, but they all had enormous tits.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, I would drive around in my Ferrari. I used to have a Ferrari. I still have
Back
it,
in the
but
day.
it's I got two actually. I have doubles.
Now I
of
have
the
blockchain.
Ferrari. Yeah.
And I've explored all kinds of stuff, and I've come to the conclusion that for me, I want to be in a long-term committed relationship,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm getting married.
That's what you're made for.
So I've tested all the waters, right? I've seen all these things, and I can't imagine like the people.
But see, here's the thing, right? If a woman said that, you'd be like, "Oh, gross."
Yeah.
If a woman said, "Oh, I tested
No
everything
question.
and I decided I wanted to be in a long-term relationship," they'd be like, "Should have thought of that before you fucked around," you know?
People's
Very
expectations,
true.
like, are they warped? Like guys think that they're going to be able to have a lot of girls and have hookups or whatever, or women think they're going to find their dream man. Like people's expectations and the whole approach to it need to be moderated, which they're not, because the guardrails of the healthy community, like you're talking about, have been totally stripped away, and people are just floundering about sexual.
Yeah, I really do feel like people should be kind of corralled by rails into a restricted area where they can date safely.
Yeah, against their will. That sounds consensual.
Again, not for my sake. I've already fucked all of the women on Earth that were all really attracted to my extremely vascular forehead.
You went through hedonist phase.
I went through a hedonist phase, so I'm good. This is for all the other guys who aren't as tall and handsome as me.
Revolution, all these things.
So I pulled up the blog from OkCupid, and this is what you see. Medium, error, 410. The author deleted this Medium story. And what was the Medium story? Well, there's an archive of it.
Why did you do this?
As you can see from the gray line, women rate an
I've got
incredible
it here on the Wayback Machine.
guys
it's not
as
hard.
worse.
Like, it's on the Wayback Machine. Why was that a gotcha? The article is gone. But we have the article.
looking than medium, very harsh. On the other hand, when it comes to
80%,
actual messaging, women shift their expectations only just slightly ahead of the curve, which is a healthier pattern than guys pursuing the all but unattainable. But with the basic rating so out of whack, the two curves together suggest some strange possibilities for the female thought process. The most salient of which is that the average-looking woman has convinced herself that the vast majority of males aren't good enough for her, but she then goes right out and messages them anyway.
Well, I'll say this, though. I think because they're rating men based on their appearance, I think women are much more likely to be with a man who they don't see as being inordinately physically attractive because they like his personality. I think that's way more
Status.
likely to have, or his status.
Sure.
So
but
even though
can
they're
lead to
way,
stability.
so
Yeah,
so
te-
even though a lot
Tell
of
us
these guys
more
is below
about
average,
what women like 3 dudes. Tell us more.
Yeah, I was like, here's a panel of what I believe women actually think right
Panel
now.
of experts.
And they're not thinking of, breeding, of course.
And
or
sovereignty,
the two,
yeah.
sovereignty and breeding, the two things that women think about the most. Also,
Well, they like a guy with big status because that means they can buy the things they like shoes,
yes,
little dogs to put in purses,
of course.
DVDs of the Real Housewives, that kind of thing.
Also,
I
your,
think a
your
lot of them,
pause
if-
game is on point
I think-
with this particular frame. That one too.
A lot of them, if they knew them in real life, thought they had good personality. Not all of them. I'm not up to lunch on this. People are selective, but I think a lot more of those people would get dates.
You're
than you might
100%
think.
Sure,
right.
sure. But take a look.
Thank you.
There was another viral case on Reddit. It was
You're
Instagram.
100% right in everything you say.
I will follow you to the ends of the earth.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, he's convinced.
Instagram model, real versus like reality versus Instagram, and they like even put fake abs on this woman, and
That's
they like
horrible.
slim. But so what happens is Instagram is making young women extremely depressed.
Yeah, making them hate their own bodies.
Yeah, but you know what?
well,
Marky Mark did the same thing to me with his Calvin Klein ads back
Yes,
in the
yes,
90s. So
but-
this
but
has
you
been
know
going
but
on a
he
long
did-
time.
But he did, like, did he
Dude.
Photoshop himself?
These
though?
are
That's the question.
fake. They're not real people. Like the hip to waist ratio. Is it possible in a lot of
Right.
these circumstances? And when done right, what happens is it's not affecting guys the same way. Sure, guys are going to be like, that's attractive, and then it's going to skew their perception. But young women look at that woman.
What about all those fucking Marvel movies you're watching, Tim? What about all those fucking Marvel movies you're so obsessed with, where the guys have enormous, bulging, rippling muscles that they can have for like
Muscles in
20
every
minutes that
single
they have
way.
to be pumping iron in between takes to get their biceps big enough? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It doesn't affect men in the same way.
Because
though.
men
We
don't
see
have
that.
body image
that's,
issues.
That's in any way something that I want to achieve. Yes.
Men don't have body image issues, which is why these fucking women with their body image issues and all they want to date are 10% of hot guys. Unlike those subhumans like me. I mean, other people.
Other people.
Other people, not me.
Woman, and then base themselves off of something that doesn't exist. And now we're getting young women getting plastic surgery to look like Instagram and Snapchat filters.
Totally, but the
Insane.
same thing happens. Chris Hemsworth, he trains for 9 months for that one scene
they're
in
bringing it up.
There you
Avengers
go.
where his shirt is off. Okay.
Yes, and then people think it's real.
and they think it's real, and then the rest of the time he's not
And-
like that.
And they
Yeah.
dehydrate.
Yeah, because
Right,
no
they take
dudes are
drugs.
in that kind of shape. Like,
Well,
they really need to go to a gay bar. Like
legit, no. Like, that kind of shape.
all the time.
No, that kind of shape is not sustainable on a long-term scale. Like the way that
no human can ever look like that.
they can
It's
look
true.
like that, but they can't do it like long-term. Like, obviously they can look like that because Chris Hemsworth looks like that in the movie, but like the extremes that they go to on those diets, like if you ever watch like a video
for the training regimens in
Yeah,
those movies. Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's unbelievable, no question. But I think the implication here is that like he's like that's not realistic. Just in the exact same way, Snapchat filters and women getting plastic surgery is not realistic, and men in no way look like that. And also, men do not have body image issues just as a direct result of being men, kind of thing. It's like that's the main crux of this thesis.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I have been to plenty of gay bars where you will see a sea of just gorgeous looking men, right? Like it's not as if it's never done before, or people don't stay in like incredible shape all the time or stuff like that, right? And dehydration.
and they're on steroids and they're on growth
No,
hormone.
it's horrible.
Well,
and
I'm
they
not going to
starve
say that
themselves-
about Hemsworth.
Right, not
Yeah,
about
okay,
him,
fair enough.
but models and even fitness.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare, not my Thor. Don't say that about him. Don't you dare. He's natural.
He's the only one. He's the only real one.
Pure Asgardian DNA. You didn't even watch the movie. Don't say that about Thor.
Fitness models who
dare say
gear
that.
up for photo shoots to get the abs and the whole thing. That is like a multi-month process.
I agree.
To get to that
But
stage,
now-
it's not normal.
Now we're at the point where you could at least recognize if I train hard and then don't drink any water for a day, you'll be able to see all these, muscles. There was a photo, I think it was of, it might have been Chris Hemsworth on the beach.
I don't think anyone was thinking
Oh,
that.
no. It was Jason Momoa, is that his name?
Yeah, Momoa.
And they were like, looking thick. What's going on with that? And it's like, the dude, and then someone pointed out, he's still actively training for the movies he's in. He's just not dehydrating himself. He looks healthy.
No, but on the same tip though, like guys, there are ways to raise your status. It is a ruthless game out there. It's ruthless,
Here we
and
go.
you have to raise your status. But
Oh,
luckily, you can do
pick
it.
up.
You
Let's
can
hear it.
get fit. You can get strong. You can
Life
raise
hacks.
your intellect. You can raise your financial status.
Raise your intellect.
But
Get that
I'm-
IQ.
you just-
10 points up. Come on, 20 points, 30 points.
No,
We're
are
going.
you not?
It's
Are
over
you
9,000.
not like blown away that they just had this like big long discussion about male body image and how like it's so unrealistic that there's these superhuman physiques. Anyway, if you want to raise your status, you got to get fit, dog. You got to
Yeah.
you got to
Here we
go to
All
the
right,
gym.
ready.
You got to pump iron, dog. Like that's
You got to put in the hours. That's what it's all about. Then you'll achieve that physique. Sigma grind set.
just you're competing globally.
Why do you look at
basically
me
now.
when he said all
I'm
that?
looking at the
He
camera.
was looking directly at me. He was looking at you.
Through
He's
your
like, you could look much better. You could have a better job.
You could comb your hair. You could take a shower. You could wear pants.
Hold on.
Hey, wait! I'm taking this personal.
No, it's brutal. I mean, it's brutal out there as the latest
I was
Disney
watching
pop star
I was
says.
watching.
Well, I think.
Heather Hying and Brett Weinstein were talking about evolutionary biology of male and female gametes, and like basically
Brett
you can see it in plants.
Weinstein.
The male is not picky; it wants to give its stamen or whatever to every plant out there. But the female plants are very picky about what they receive because
Yes, yes, Lance.
I thought. Well, I thought the lobster metaphor was a weird thing to throw upon humanity and dating pools, but no, I was mistaken. We got the plants, and we're gonna talk about the fertilization process of plants and how that relates to human beings, because there's definitely a correlation to be seen here.
The pure sweaty desperation of this conversation, where it's like, dudes will just fuck whoever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But ladies don't want to fuck anybody. Ladies hate fucking. It's the only explanation. It's like you couldn't tell on yourself harder.
Mm-hmm.
Just think of women as people, and then see if that changes. Like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to fuck me with my. I don't wipe my ass either. Like, yeah.
Or have weird, awkward conversations with people about sovereignty and other issues they might not be interested in.
Yeah, if I only ate Soylent for 6 months, I wouldn't want to fuck me either. Like,
because they can only just receive one.
Well,
Here's the
indeed,
thing.
they're the gatekeepers.
Well, yes, but here's the thing. That is true. But also, when a man is picking someone who he wants to marry, we have this culture where there's this dichotomy, right? You're either looking for someone to have like a meaningless sexual encounter with, or you're looking for someone for a more serious long-term thing. Historically, like if a man was looking for a marriage partner, he was going to be more selective than a lot of guys are when they go out and sleep around.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, women are the gatekeepers to sex. Men are the gatekeepers.
How historically
to...
are we talking? Like, are we talking, I don't know, 1800s, 1700s? Pretty sure women were just basically property that were exchanged in order to secure family ties and acquire, different forms of accumulated wealth. Like, it wasn't as if it was a massive dating pool, you see. And it is the men who will decide the mates, and the women who will basically decide who they have sex with. Yes.
but just to say women are the gatekeepers to sex, like, both parties should be gatekeepers to sex. Like, both parties should be able to say yes or no, right? So, like, essentially what they're complaining about is that women can reject them, when in fact they should be forced to have sex with ugly dudes so that they can get laid.
Yes.
That if we allow women to have choices, then the downside to that is some dudes might get their feelings hurt. Cool. Love
relationships, right? Because the man decides to give up that urge of spreading the stamen.
Well, and even when it's not sex, I think you're right that even when it's not sex, like if you're in a community of like churchgoers, people who are saving themselves for marriage or don't have sex, there is still this element of the woman being the gatekeeper for like the initial interaction or the mutual interest, something like that. And then the guy is more the gatekeeper for whether it progresses down the path of being something serious.
Definitely.
Thanks for checking out this clip.
Definitely.
Utter madness.
But did you learn? Because that was dating apps are driving women insane and turning men into incels. So it's the dating apps, not any of their theories or any of the strategies that were being proposed there.
Yeah, I learned that nowadays women are getting body image issues from Instagram, which never happened before the internet. So that's concerning. Like, you'd never see like a woman like who was airbrushed on a magazine cover. Like, that just...
No.
They don't do that kind of thing in
It's not like
traditional
we
media.
valued women based on their physical appearance in society for as long as society's existed.
Yeah.
Not like that. I don't know if you've ever watched old Jordan Peterson videos. I watched one recently, and he's giving a speech similar to what they're talking about, and he brings up this fact that they were kind of skirting around, and that's that you have twice as many female relatives than you have male relatives, and that women throughout history have been the deciders of society and the great controllers of sex and deciding and who their
Wait,
sexual
what?
partners are going to be. Yeah, oh yeah.
How does
He
it-
was an entire like 5-minute
No, no, no,
university.
no, no. No, no. I mean, what do you? We have twice as many female relatives as male relatives.
Yeah, that's what he proposes. And then
How
he
does that
says
make
the
any
reason
sense?
for that, because women are the selectors of sex and men are not. So there's all these unattractive males who are at the bottom of the gene pool who are not procreating as a result of women selectively choosing which ones they want to have sex with.
But still, it requires. If we're looking at a normative view of gender, it requires one woman, one man.
It does.
So it should be 50-50.
So his theory is that the reason for that is because women are the sexual selectors.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. But I Googled it, and it turns out it's the opposite, obviously. It's historically men in a misogynistic society, a patriarchal society, have been the controllers of women, especially treating them as if they were property. And it was often higher class men, lords, if you will, who would be able to have multiple partners, harems, stuff of this nature, to account for that. So it's actually more explainable by the aspect that women were treated as property than it is explainable by women were these liberated genetic selectors throughout our human history.
Okay, sure, but like my parents, one man, one woman. My grandparents,
Yes.
one man, one woman. Even if
Yes.
even if my great grandmother had sex with 200 dudes, or didn't fuck, like only had sex with one dude, she was super picky.
Yes.
It would still be one man, one woman.
Yes.
For every single path.
Yes.
So how does the fact?
How do they explain that?
Yeah.
I think I think they're doing it by not looking at the way ancestors are defined, right? Like men will appear within your ancestry or your gene pool multiple times, depending on the way they're reflecting upon it. I think that's the best way to explain it. I can't really think of a different way that Jordan Peterson defines it. It's a very unusual thing, but it's the exact same thing that I'm seeing replicated in this kind of discussion, right? Where it's like women are selectors, the sexual selectors, men are the relationship selectors.
Okay.
And
But people
there's a
are
host
now
of reasons
saying,
why.
I'm talking about ancestors and he's talking about relatives. But that makes even less sense because there's no sexual selection required for relatives. It just half of people are one and half of people are the other, except for the people who aren't. Like, it makes no sense. This is nonsense.
Because I wanted to show it to you. Let me see.
Yes, I know that a man can have multiple partners.
Jordan Peterson, maybe sexual selection would probably be the best way to explain
Is the idea being somehow that a man can have sex with two women who have babies, and then like through inbreeding, you have fewer male? Because that says the opposite of what he's saying.
Women always reject these men. Maybe that one's it. No, this is about Medusa. This one's about how sexual selection works. It's all related to the dominance hierarchy.
I don't know if I'm just being dumb here, but I don't understand this at all. It seems like the only explanation seems to say the opposite, and even that is like nonsense. But
all right, let me see. Trying to find the Peterson clip, so I'll have him. I just want to have him verbatim, so I'm not putting words in the lobster's mouth. Humanity has more mother than fathers, according to DNA. So from live science, humanity has more mothers than fathers. Mothers outnumber fathers throughout much of human history. A new DNA analysis around the world shows the genetic findings offer evidence for polygamy when one man has many wives and other reproductive customs. migrating out. Historically, as people migrated out of Africa, historically more women were reproducing than men. This often happens in human societies, not because all men are able to afford wives, or sometimes few men will have many wives. These practices resulted in females making a larger genetic contribution to the global population than males did, the research found.
So then,
yeah, that's
so
what
then
he's
the
referencing.
reason for this is not that women have too much sexual freedom, but in fact quite the opposite.
The exact opposite. The exact opposite. Yes, that was my point, and that's what I have seen kind of permeate and grow out of these conversations in like right wing crowds that are like, and incel ones too, where like this all comes down to the fact that women are choosing specific mates, and we're not allowed to be part of this gene pool anymore. And look at history, and you know,
Boy, bleak, absolutely bleak,
Doofa.
absolutely bleak. Just
Yeah. But you know what's not bleak? Streaming with you, Mildred. It's an absolute pleasure.
and our partners at Raytheon.
And at this time, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, for this episode of Serf Slime. They've been very generous in their donations to us, and
Yeah,
they've
go
allowed us to
there
create
and
new characters. And
Go
add them
there
to
and
the,
get
the
addicted
mythology of the
and
game.
spend all the money and use my code when you do it so that I get a little kickback for you getting addicted to this predatory gambling app for children.
Yeah, which I'm going to do for 20 plus hours a day. It's great. Are you gonna keep streaming, Slime? I probably should get off and go take the dog for a walk.
I'm probably going to
I
keep
can send
streaming
you
for an
all-
hour or so, yeah.
I'll send you all of the
All of the what?
all
What
of
is
the
it you- what are they
wonderful
called?
all of the
Do you got a name for him?
wonderful human
What would you
beings.
call him? I know
Yes.
what I'd call him.
I call them wonderful human beings. Every one of
Mm.
them. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, when they get here,
Uh,
I'll ask what they prefer to be called, and we'll see.
Where can everyone find you, Mildred, on the internet?
YouTube.com/c/thoughtslime is where I make videos about slime feces, genitalia, and other things traditionally considered ugly. My name is Thought Slime, and I was once a boy like you, at least until I found evil Gorgo's magic jewel. And I touched it, and he tricked me, and now every time I sneeze, I'm a monster by mistake.
That is some good lore. That's fantastic. Goodbye to the Goo Crew. Goodbye to my chat. You can also find me at youtube.com/thesurfstv or everywhere else that social media is sold.
Oh, yeah, I should have asked you, because
because
you were also logging off. Yeah, that would have been polite.
It would have been.
I was too proud of my own thing
It's
that I
okay.
was saying.
You had too much lore. But no, that was awesome. It was
Yeah,
long
this was
overdue.
fun.
I missed our slimy times. Let's do a scary movie public domain around Halloweeny time.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Now I can get rid of some of these open windows. End call. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's me, Thought Slime. You know me. I'm that guy from television. Let's put on some more of this music. First, I'm going to turn the volume down because I always turn it up when I have a guest, and then I forget and I deafen myself. Not bad. Turn it down a little and turn it up for you. There we go. How's that? How are the levels? How is the levels of how does it sound? How is it sound? Is the way a human would phrase that one. And we'll move this over here. All right. Good sound. Everybody's liking the good sounds. Are we in the eyeball zone now? What does that mean? Someone explain to me what that means. Have I watched any more classically Abby for tips on being more feminine? Definitely I have. Big fan. Love her work. I think that she's just an all-around good content creator. Smidge too loud? All right. I missed some messages. I'm going to read out the messages. I missed the messages. Boop. Okay. Anyone here like Will Wood? What is... I feel like I just got ligma'd. Is that a ligma? I passed the part of RE Village because I had my gay vision goggles on, which makes me immune to hetero fan service. I do not fit into your categories. I cannot be described under any type of sexual labels, for I transcend the gender binary. Here's enough cash to buy Resident Evil Village 2. With that, what you will, it's yours now. I can't stop you. Oh, I'm so sorry that I missed that. That was, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Hecate, Luna Sri, I hope you're still here and you can hear me. Thank you for that. That's very generous. I feel terrible. Wolf Coder says, also trans rights. I don't want to put everybody, I don't want to ask too much of chat, but if we could get a trans rights in chat, I know you don't like to do it, but if we could do this one more time. Mildred, you are muted. Not anymore, good Morty. I don't get a chance to catch your streams often, but I love all you do, Thop Slop. You were one of the first content creators to help me in my journey far left of my past liberalism. Can't thank you enough. You can thank me enough. Once or twice, I feel like. Will do. Vibration is the key that sets us free. Probably some kind of music, some kind of lyrics there. I don't get the reference. Is that a video they're denying border militias? If I had to guess, they probably weren't denying border militias, but trying to say that they're not like something to worry about, and they're actually pretty cool if you think about it. If you think about it, they're pretty cool. Step back with the weed number. Thank you, Tristan, for the weed number that you gave me. If somehow, in an alternate reality, I would have been married to one of these guys, I'd kill myself. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like a raw deal, because they probably wouldn't do any of the cooking or cleaning, and they would probably want weird sex stuff, if I had to guess. Weird, I'm not going to give an example, because then I would be kink shaming, because there are people who do weird sex stuff that are fine, and aren't weird reactionaries, who might be perfectly lovely to be married to. My partner and I love your content. Keep fighting the good fight, Slime. I will, just because you said so. So how many big booty drawings did you get after last week's video? That's a good question. Let me count. According to this, I got 18. 18 that aren't just like stick figures. Some of them were just like someone scribbled something or drew a stick figure, and I didn't count those. A unicorn, thank you. Now that we're alone, dish. Dish about what? What do I dish of? ADHD isn't real. I mean, it's real, but it's like nobody has it. It's completely overdiagnosed. Oh, that's weird. You're so smart. You're the smartest person I've ever heard. Because everybody else was just telling me to go with like what the overwhelming consensus of medical professionals think. But yeah, but you just went with what it feels like to you. You're so smart. You're so smart. Holy shit. I never would have figured that out. Thank you. Thank you. so smart. I'm so impressed. Hey Mildred, I just wanted to say that I love your videos. And they're what got me into lefty YouTube in the first place. LOL, keep rocking. Other than that, though, they're pretty good, right? It's so weird, right? Because like, I would have, like, here I am, just going with, you know, the word of a neuropsychologist and the tests that they did on me. But you know what? Probably this YouTube chatter has got it on the money, I'd say. Hey Mildred, you are an inspiration to me and you have helped me finally come out to a few friends as non-binary. Wishing you a happy day! All of my days are happy. I have nothing but happy days, ever. Congratulations, I'm happy for you. There's it's always really frustrating to me whenever someone has like an invisible condition. There are just the most blockheaded people. Like, it's the same people that'll be like, oh, depression isn't real. You saw it in the video I did about Ryan Long, and we talked about how fibromyalgia is not real. It's like there's no amount of evidence you can give to these people that they'll accept, because they just go, oh, that doesn't feel right to me, and I know better. So, like, my advice is, when you meet people like that, just don't talk to them. Just tell them to fuck off. You know, hey, fuck off. And because, like, what do you get? Like, there's no point debating it. There's no point having a back and forth. They haven't reasoned themselves into the position. You're not going to reason them out of it. And the reason I respond with, like, you're so smart, you're so much smarter than everybody else, is because, like, that's what they want to hear. That's what they think in their head. They think, I'm smarter than everybody. So you just kind of make fun of them for it. What's the music that's playing? That's the Stream Beats what's this? Chiptunes playlist. I would almost said Pixel Tunes. You know when you're trying to think of a word and you just have another word stuck in your head and you can't get around that other word? For me right now, it's Pixel Tunes? Are they called Pixel Tunes? Sometimes they're your doctor/therapists. Fire them. Get a new doctor or therapist. Like, legit. If you have a doctor or a therapist who tells you that, like, ADHD or depression or fibromyalgia are not real, that is not a good doctor. Fire them. Can you recommend some spooky aesthetic video games that aren't, like, too spooky? I want the vibes, but I don't want to actually be scared. I would say Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Super Ghouls and Goblins, if you're Masocore. Monster Prom. This is a good one. A lot of your classic point-and-click adventure games, like Day of the Tentacle, Maniac Mansion. What do you call it? Medieval. Zombies Ate My Neighbors, thank you. It's a good one. Spooky sauce with jump scares. Or even Dead Rising. How many numbers are there? I know the biggest number is 27. Play Hey Ya vid, please. Yes, I am drunk. I'm not going to play Hey Ya because I would probably get a copyright strike for that one. So I can't do that right now. New Resident Evil movie coming out next month? Yes, and if you haven't seen the trailer to the new Resident Evil movie, you owe it to yourself. If for no other reason than their choice of music, which is incredible. It's the best possible song they could have picked. Why do they play Hey Ya at weddings? Does no wedding DJ ever listen to the lyrics? Because it's a fun song to dance to. Is probably why. Do I like rom-coms? I like some of them. Ah, someone caught my Mr. Show reference. Thank you. Hey, boss. What about 28? Oh, yeah. That's it, 28. 28's the biggest number. Isn't ADHD statistically underdiagnosed, especially in people perceived as girls? Yes, because women are more likely to have inattentive type ADHD, which is the kind I have, thus thereby proving scientifically that I am part woman. Love your content, been a viewer for a while, your videos make my day. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Am I going to play the new Nickelodeon Smash Brothers? Probably not. I have no particular emotional attachment to Nickelodeon. Is it true you can play as Reptar? Why does anyone care about Reptar, the dinosaur from Rugrats? What would I say to Andy No if I had the chance? I often have the chance to insult him in person. I would love something fiery to say next time. I think I would just get too mad and flustered. I would end up just screaming at him about how he supports fascists and Adam Waffen and makes kill lists for them. Rocco's Modern Life isn't in it? What the fuck? Was that a Borat reference? I don't know what you're referring to, so probably not. No rocket power either? I care not for rocket power. Who wouldn't care about Reptar? I feel like almost everybody. You can play as Toph Beifong, which is worth the price of admission. Yeah, if you want to play as a cop. Do I have a favorite Dario Argento movie? Love your channel. Suspiria, I guess, but it's such a normie answer. I don't find I like a lot of his movies. I really like Suspiria, though. I have not checked out Midnight Mass yet. No, I will. The Odd Real Monsters rep is the one I always forget about. Who they got? They got Crumb, Ickis, Oblina. Who they got? Why are there eyeballs behind you? I can see behind me because I got a webcam trained on my face. Have I seen the stuff? Yeah, it sucks. What's my favorite Romero film? Obviously, it's Knight Riders because Camelot is a state of mind. Knight Riders is a movie about a traveling group of Renaissance fair workers who ride motorcycles as though they were the horses of old. It stars Ed Harris as King Arthur, and it stars the special effects artist, who I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He did the effects for Friday the 13th and Dawn of the Dead. And he was Sex Machine in From Dusk Till Dawn. So Tom Savini. Tom Savini as Morgan Le Fay, which is an interesting choice. Can I ask a more serious question, or would you prefer to stick to more chill and low-key stuff for now? I mean, you can ask, but I'm not necessarily going to answer every single question. Yeah, I don't control what people tippity-tap type in there. Favorite 2021 film so far? The Video Dead. Do I ever struggle with imposter syndrome? I made a whole video about how I struggle with imposter syndrome. Which, by the way, is a huge ADHD thing. Like, specifically. I thought Rob Bowden was Sex Machine, or was my memory faulty? That was Tom Savini in From Dusk Till Dawn. He had a little dick gun. He had a little gun that was in the shape of a dick. Or the shaft was his shaft, and the testicles were two barrels. Have I ever thought about participating in a game jam like Ludum Dare? I don't know how to make video games. What use would I be? What are your thoughts on TV horror hosts like Elvira or Sven Gulli? Well, Sven Gulli's a ghoulie, so obviously I'm biased towards that. They're very fun. They're the exact type of camp that I like. I have to take off my sweater. It's too hot. Oh, that's the life. Now, how many super chats do you think it takes to get the rest off? Have I seen the independent psychological horror film They Look Like People? I'd like to recommend it, if not. I have not seen it. It's on Netflix, if I recall correctly. But yeah, it looks good. Looks like a good movie. Thoughts on Skip Intro's Propaganda series? Quite good. I really like them. I haven't watched the whole thing. But I watched their videos on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And they're fun. It's very well done. Am I hyped for Metroid Dread? Sort of. It does not look like the type of Metroid game that I'm super into. Why did you unlist Chelsea Manning is still in jail? She's a hero, not cool. Because she's no longer in jail. The premise of the video was people should be outraged that she's in jail and they should write letters to her. And now she's out of jail. Why would I keep that video up? The information's out of date. It's not like a slight to Chelsea Manning. I also took down my video about the J20 trials because they're over. Because putting it in the cringe one does give it a message. Yeah, maybe I should rename the playlist. That's a good point. You know, that's a good point. When you put it that way, that's actually very reasonable. Why did you take down the video about how you're a big baby in a stinky diaper? I like that video, but you took it down. It's real and I saw it, but you took it down. I didn't take that down. I thought, no, that one's definitely still up. Is it sad that my thought was, I wish I was in jail, then I'd have people to talk to? Yes, it is. And in this case, no, you wouldn't, because she was put in solitary confinement. Just curious, could we get like a 1-minute summary of why each video on that list got put there? I guess. I'd have to bring up the list. Playlists. Okay. The Great Reset exposed, very real conspiracy, Green New Deal imposed by martial law. I just don't feel like it's or the Great Reset exposed. I just don't feel like it's a particularly good video. I don't think it's very well researched. I feel like I fired from the hip on that one. What is a degenerate? I feel like I just put that up and I don't even know why I made that one, to be honest. Defund the tone police. Because it's just not a well-argued video. I feel that it doesn't do the subject justice, and I think it muddles my position, which is that the police should be abolished. But in the meantime, anything we can do to defund them is good. But I just don't think it's... I don't know. Oligarchs will let the world burn. I feel like that's like, yeah, we fuck, like it's like obviously. Hey, democracy didn't happen. How come? I feel like that one I really overstated my case, especially because it was written in the in-between period where votes were still kind of being counted. And I just feel like it's not a great vid. Not a great vid. Why is everyone pretending to be mad about critical race theory? Because it's just... Do we need more videos of this just white people talking about critical race theory? Like, do we need that? Is that really something you need like a white guy to like weigh in on? When I take the videos down or unlist them? Yeah, these are unlisted videos, is the point. We are drowning in nonsense. That one is just like I didn't have anything to make a video about that week, so I just slapped that together. I just feel like that one's terrible. I must begrudgingly admit I like Tom Nook betraying my principles. I no longer agree with the premise of this video. I feel that I was just trying to fit it into the title. You know, I wanted to make a video with that title. Is politics literally just wrestling? Again, it's like, that's just me ranting into a webcam. Like it's not the type of content I want to make. 2,000 subscriber Q&A. Who cares? Nobody cares. HBO's Watchmen and Propaganda. That video is, I just don't agree with what I said in it. I don't think that I did a good job in that video. I think that I should put this on stream so you guys can see it. You guys, gals, and pals, I should say, can see it. There we go. Why is it not? You know why? Why can I not? Why is it not? All right. Remove. Hold on. I'll get this together. I'll get it together. There we go. Probably not in front of my face. Yeah, HBO's Watchmen and Propaganda. I don't feel like that's a good video anymore. I feel like I overstated my case. I feel like a lot of the stuff I said, I don't stand by. What I'm hearing is that you care about quality and integrity of your backlog, and I appreciate that. So here I have $5 to eat. I don't eat it. Grumbletum eats money. I don't eat money. I spend it on drugs. My mic looks like a giant gas canister. This is what I'm told. People tell me this. Hey, OBS, you having some trouble there, bud? OBS, you having some trouble? Uh-oh. Why can I not see? Hold on. This is not good. I cannot see OBS. It's just disappeared. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Did I get my password switched after the leak? I did indeed. Yeah, the stream is fine. I know this. The stream should not go down simply because OBS is. Hide. Where is it? What the fuck? I am not on a Mac, no. Okay, well, let's continue. You are expendable. It's again like what is the point of that video? What is the point of it? Why does anything I'm saying here need to be said? We must destroy Santa Claus. It's not funny. I just do not find that video funny. Hey Pete Buttigieg, means testing sucks, dude. I don't think that video is any good. I think that I believe that what I said is correct, but I don't think that I did a good job expressing that point. The 50 Ways Capitalism is Hurting You videos. I just feel like a lot of the stuff in that list is just like a stretch. And I don't know, I'm not super comfortable with it. How to Lose an Argument, that video is just straight up nonsense. I watched it back and I was like, what the fuck am I talking about it? What the fuck is this? This doesn't make any sense. Get out of here. How to Defeat Your Boss. It is not a video about that. I don't think it's a particular... The video's like, join a union. Yeah, no shit. Easy Direct Action. It's just not good advice and I shouldn't be the one giving it. But How Come Revolution? It's like... I don't feel like I do a good job arguing the case. You don't have to defend your decisions. It's a fun thing to do. 10 Things Everyone Missed in the Rise of Skywalker trailer, not clickbait. No longer relevant because the movie's come and gone. And also just wasn't funny. I do not find it funny. Chelsea Manning is still in jail, as I said. Chelsea Manning is thankfully no longer in jail. So what was the point in keeping it up? 10 Things Everyone Gets Wrong About Anarchists? Come on. Who's that for? Who's that for? Getting Sweaty About Globalism? in this video, I position Lauren Southern's beliefs as nationalism, and I don't qualify that. And I feel like that has contributed to the recent discourses around black nationalism, and I don't want to continue adding to that form of ignorance, so I took that one down. Capitalism, my official review. Again, I do not find it funny. I no longer find this to be a funny video. I'm horrible to myself? No, all of the videos that I left up I thought were good. These are just the ones that I no longer like, so I took them down. If this were just a list of my videos, I wouldn't be saying all of this shit. It's a list of the videos that I no longer like. Non-binary buffoon achieves the perfect cat eye, making it up as I'm going along. Again, these videos, I don't like them. I'm much better at makeup now. I don't like the way these videos go. I'm not a fan. They're hard for me to watch. How to succeed in capitalism? Again, I don't find it funny. I just don't. I feel like I did a lot of videos that were way too try-hard. And that's one of them. Having fun? Here's a idea for a video. Having fun is good. Oh wow, good thing you were here to tell me that. Thanks, man. The Is Batman a Fascist video. This video is by far the most contentious one that I have taken down. And I will say this, I have not changed my position. However, I feel that I did not argue my position correctly in this video. I spent too much time treating the question as though in fiction is Batman a fascist without addressing what I think the criticism people are actually offering, which is that Batman is like a fascist power fantasy, which is what people are actually saying with that stuff. So that's why I took that one down. I might redo that, but I no longer consider that video up to my current standards. The state, this one's easy. I do not feel that I give the correct definition of the state in this video, nor do I tell people why it's wrong or why it's a problem. I just don't think it's good. Likewise, the problem with hierarchy, it's just an old shitty video that I don't think represents what I do anymore. The Boy Who Cried Racist. A lot of these, the answer is going to be that like it's embarrassing. And this one in particular, there's like an audio bug in it that I never fixed. But I'm not proud of that video anymore. How to never lose a debate with a fascist again. It's like, who am I to tell people what to do? Who am I to tell people like here's the way to fight fascism, as though I have any fucking clue? You know? I don't know. Maybe it is the right thing to do, but I just feel like it's too prescriptive a video. It's chiding people and it's talking down to people. It's a form of moralizing that I no longer feel comfortable with. I genuinely enjoyed like 75% of those videos, but I totally support you curating the content you create. So here's food for Grimbletum. Thank you. I'll make sure they get it. Idpol divides the left, the bad take zone, episode 2. Again, is this just like, do you need me to tell you this? Do you need me to be the one to tell you this? And it's just like it's an ugly video in the sense that like it looks ugly. Like I filmed it on my Surface Pro built-in webcam. It just looks like garbage. Were the Nazis socialists? That topic has been covered to death. And so many people have done better jobs with it than I did that I'm like, I don't think this video needs to be here. 1K subs, Q&A, and face reveal. I mean, I think my face is pretty well revealed at this point. And the J20 trial and why you should care. You should no longer care because the J20 trial is over and the good guys won. So now here's something I'm concerned about. If I close down that window, it's just going to default to the next tab in OBS, which I can't change. I could open up new projectors, which is interesting. I tried Alt-Tab, baby. That was the first thing I tried. Oh, now it's not even showing up in Alt-Tab. Before it was showing up in Alt-Tab, I just couldn't pick it. What if I launch a new instance of OBS? Uh-oh, hope I didn't just crash the stream, but I might have. I might have just crashed the stream. Detroit become Grumbletum? Now there's a game. Do you ever feel bad using Grumbletum's sickly health for engagement and Patreon pledges? No. No, I don't. Why? Ooh. Maybe it resized your window to 0 times 0? Even if it did, how would I fix that? Show. Oh, now I can Alt-Tab it again. Do you find you actually get a boost in likes or donations when you include Grumbletum in a video? Not that I've noticed. I get occasional comments from people saying like, I didn't want to comment, but I'm commenting for Grumbletum, which I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people, you know, I obviously don't want people to actually donate because of Grumbletum, but it's kind of the joke is that I'm doing this incredibly manipulative thing. Is OBS still in your taskbar but not on your monitor? In that case, try selecting it and pressing Shift plus Alt plus arrow key to move it in a different monitor and see if that helps. Okay. Nope. Maybe if I do it this way. That does not do nothing. Alt space. Shift plus Windows key. Nope. Have I tried deleting System 32? This is extremely frustrating. I don't know why this would happen. Even if I minimize all of my windows, it doesn't show up. Very strange. Super window plus arrow up allegedly maximizes? Nope. Did not do. Just finished my first D&D game with my Goliath Labor Organizer Paladin, Oath of the Common Man. Thanks for the inspiration for that. That's me! I'm a Goliath Labor Organizer, even though I've done none of those things. Well, I've labored. Control-Shift-Escape. Processes, right-click, bring to front. All right. OBS, OBS, OBS. Now, OBS does not appear to be in the processes. What if I click on the icon first? Doesn't seem to do it. When I click on OBS and press Control-Shift-Escape, it brings me to the program, the task manager, which is unusual. I used to be an anti-SJW center-right troll. Thank you and many others for saving me. Seriously, thank you. Hey, and it's Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Thank you for appearing in the film The Video Dad. Apparently you did that during an alt-right phase. I have no idea how chat works, but I want to donate to you means of life. Thank you. Deleting my cookie clicker will save the problem? Then, more the fool you, for I have saved... You think I keep my cookie clicker save exclusively locally? Rookie mistake. What happens if my computer crashes? No, I back it up. Okay. Task Manager. You'd have to find it in the Processes tab, then expand the right thing, right-click on the process, bring to front, assuming this works. Let's see. There's no... When I right-click it, there's no... There's no option to bring to front on anything. As soon as you figured this out, I will sub, I swear. Okay, now we got the inspiration. Maybe I moved it to a virtual desktop. Win plus control plus left right arrows to switch. I tried that. Nope. Would it be easier to just restart OBS? Wouldn't that crash the stream though? Not in the details tab. That gives you the details tab. Not. Okay, I'm in the details tab. Still doesn't give me any option to bring to front. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this happen before. Am I from Western Canada? Precisely the opposite. When it's safe, would you like to do meetups again? Probably not, because I would probably get beaten up. I'm probably just going to end the stream here because I can't fix OBS and I have to pee so bad. So that's going to be it for me. I'm not even going to read any jokes because I don't have the ability to go to my BRB window. So I'm just going to end. So I hope you all